We are back. Welcome to another episode of Red Hill Racing Podcast. I'm Ben Knight. In case you forgot us, I am the Redneck here with your favorite Hillbilly, Mr. 42 times.
Yeah, 42
times. What's happening, Dustin?
Man, I'm tired. I ain't stopped since we recorded last. It's been wide open for me. I mean, we didn't record the week of XDA, and then we didn't record last week. Yeah, because I was going to the bracket finals, and then here we are, and all the dust is settled, and we got info and things to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as Dustin said, the week before XDA, we both just literally had too much going on. We were both trying to make sure we had our stuff all together in tip-top shape. And then honestly, the week after, not only was Dustin turning around and leaving on Wednesday, so that didn't give him much time, but the night before we were going to record it on Monday, and we didn't have all the championships finalized. So we decided to just hold off because we wanted to kind of wrap it all in one. But we're back.
We assumed the points, but we wasn't sure. So we wanted to make sure that we wasn't giving y'all false information.
That's right. Only facts here. Facts in our opinions.
Yeah. It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
Man. Well, first off, I did start getting some messages. Hey, did I miss a podcast? Hey, when y'all doing? So we appreciate that. We didn't get much the first week, but this week we started to get some. So we did get missed, I reckon. So felt some of that love. But yeah, thank you for the loyal listeners, the loyal Patron drinkers, subscribers. We appreciate the support. We actually got a new subscriber just today. It'd been a minute. So appreciate everybody.
Bless their hearts. They subscribed and we ain't even been putting nothing up.
I know, right? That's what I mean. Maybe it was like a kick in the ass. Get going. Not safe for work, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we appreciate all the subscribers and listeners. We will do a giveaway at the end of this episode, and we will also do one the next episode. Hell, we might have one every episode from here on out. We had to shout out our amazing sponsors because they rock, and they're a big part of this show as well. So got to shout out BMF Motorsports, University of Wynn, Energy Coil, Knight Marketing Group, Hard Times Parts and Service, Montgomery Motorsports, Manchester Mines, Schnitz Racing, Platinum General Services, MTC Engineering, Penske Racing Shocks, MPS Racing, and Worldwide Bearings. We appreciate that. Then remind me later on, I want to talk about a few things with the sponsors going on, Dustin. I know there's a couple that have some stuff out, blah, blah, and you probably have some stuff you want to talk about. So we want to hit that in a little bit. Man, what do you want to unpack first?
There's so much.
It's been like 2 years, not 2 weeks.
Man, I'll tell you guys this past weekend was the most mentally exhausting race of my life. And it wasn't because the riding the motorcycle or the racing part. It was the preparation each round. But
do you want to go ahead and start with the NHRA?
We can go backwards, I guess, if you want.
I mean, it's up to you. You started talking about it. You want to?
I'm just so tired.
You want to wait to rehash it before we?
I have a lot of build-up anxiety over it, and I haven't let it go yet.
Nightmares for weeks about.
Man, I am because I fuck it. We'll just talk about it because.
Hold on, can I set you up first?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I got to remind our loyal listeners, and for maybe you're just tuning in. So I'm going to tee it up for my man, Mr. 42 times now. So if y'all have been following along, which most of y'all have, at the beginning of the year, Dustin and I made ourselves talk about some goals, right? So I said one of my goals was, I hadn't really even tried or said I was going to try and go after a championship. I said I'd like to try to get one in XDA, right, this year. I think that's what I said, right? I think you made me vouch on that. Then, Dustin said he was just going to take championships. It is what it is. He's racing, but he told me and the listeners, y'all, I know he did, he was going to go to NHRA bracket finals. Well, then that kind of morphed into going not only to NHRA, but he also went to Knoxville and joined IHRA.
Yeah, the points. Yeah.
And my man, even missing a couple races, won the Knoxville track championship. Technically, you're at 43 then, right?
Those ain't included in those.
Yeah, okay. All right. 42.
Yeah.
won that, which we didn't even know at the time, automatically punched your ticket to the IHRA World Finals, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so here with Dustin and I were thinking he had to go to another kind of division finals and did not. Well, lo and behold, darned if the IHRA World Finals didn't fall on the NHRA Division 2 bracket finals.
Yeah, that sucked.
You know, me and my boy, we had a long out discussion. I told him he's crazy at first, but it ended up, you know, the ultimate goal was NHRA.
I've had NHRA on my mind, and it's on my bucket list. My bucket list, guys, is there's not much left. Like, I'll tell you right now, of course, Division 2 finals win and then go to Vegas and win. Yeah. That's, in my opinion, one thing, because it's got to happen. Now that IHRA has a motorcycle bracket finals, cool. That's on my list. The last thing on my list, or other than having 50 championships, is I want to go to a big money car race and win big money. That's the last one that I'll go for because it's the hardest one of them all, if you want my opinion. And so I guess you could say I have 4 things on my list, and having 50 championships plus is one of them. And that's just 50, like, I call it, the series calls them world, like XDA said, you're a world champion, but you know, it's series championships, you know, like Banff is part of my, you know, 42 and all that stuff.
We're not going to get into the nitty gritty of it. We could debate that all day. Regional, series, national, whatever. Yeah. It don't matter.
It's series championships, and it's all heavy hitters that show up. They could be from anywhere, but they're there, you know.
So after XDA, Dustin had a quick 2.5 day turnaround, really, to head to Carolina Dragway for the Division 2 finals. And yeah, that's I teed
It's been probably 15 years since I've been to Carolina Dragway, and I raced my Uncle Frank's Red KZ there with my dad and runnered up with him. He beat me in the finals there in a gamblers race. In the main race, I lost in the semis, and Dad went to the final. Been a long time since I've been there, and I like the track, man. It's been a long time. I forgot about doing burnouts uphill. That was cool. But the pits are, you know, nice. The when you pull in the gate, it's beautiful. There's palm trees or whatever they are, and it's a beautiful track. The track's nice. The staff, you know, Jimmy Owen works his tail off and keeps everything right. And you know, all the workers was nice, even though the goofball running the staging lanes hit Jerry's bike with a golf cart, knocked it over, and I didn't even tell you that. Yeah, so that's news to you. Good. Yeah, man. Actually, he hit my bike too. Me and Jerry were parked beside each other, and there they like, you won't race your teammate unless you have to, you know. And he was squeezing between the bikes on a golf cart, a lifted golf cart, and he knocked Jerry's over, and his left front tire was against my pipe. So I had to like kick my kickstand out and then move my bike forward so he could pull up so we could lift Jerry's bike up. And Jerry's bike's a tank. I don't know how many times people's knocked it over. And, you know, Jerry's so nice. He don't even get upset.
Like literally the like, if you had to pick somebody's bike to knock over,
it would be Jerry's. Yes. And like it scratched his shield and his helmet, and I'd have been losing my mind. Goodness. And he was like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, what? It's not fine. Like, I'm pissed that he hit my pipe. Like, let's just burn this place down, you know? And Jerry was just so nice that he calmed me down, you know? But anyway.
You know, hold on, time out. Dustin and I, before we record, we're always talking, but, like, me and him were just going over our days today because we both didn't have the best days. I would say mine was decidedly worse. I was getting my shit earlier. No. But honestly, what you just described, like, it helps put things in perspective, right? And that's like how it
could always be worse.
Yeah, it could always be worse. Well, and it just like knowing Jerry and like how he handled that situation, like, it just makes me try and do better, right? Like, we all should be striving to do better. But anyways, carry on. That's crazy.
That happened, and but the staff there, you know, that guy was super sorry, of course. But
I know exactly who you're talking about. He was super nice. I met him.
He missing a tooth.
I think so.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't mean to do it, but he wasn't a really bright crayon to be driving a golf cart lifted with wide wheels through motorcycles either. But anyway, so Thursday, I really didn't get really good sleep. I was already tired, right? We just now raced XDA, drove basically all night, except I stopped and slept 3 or 4 hours on the side of the road in the rest area before I got home. And work. I got to work and try to get everything done. Everybody's orders I missed shipped, and if they hadn't been shipped or whatever, just trying to get everything done. I get there. It was like 1 a.m. or something Thursday morning. Slept in line. It was cool out, so no generator. I sleep with a fan on. I didn't sleep good. I tossed and turned all night. Woke up 7 o'clock in the morning, pulled in the gate. Probably got a good 4 hours sleep, maybe, time I winded down and all that. And unloaded my junk, and me and Ben had a plan. I needed to get some test passes, see what the bike was going to do. I only had 2 passes with that delay box on this bike. I put a new one on it. I actually done that at Maryland at the private test. And just make sure we were ready. Right. And the bike actually had me excited for the weekend on Thursday because went 557 like 4 times.
Yeah, that thing was printing on Thursday.
Yeah, the weather was kind of the same. Yeah,
we'll get to that, but
the weather. It was hot, but it was hot all day. Like that. The DA didn't do anything. Like it was, the DA might have went up a few hundred feet, but on Saturday we had, Lord, damn near 1,000 feet or over 1,000 feet swings. But anyway, it was printing tickets. I felt like I had a pretty good spot on the tree. I wasn't as consistent as I wanted to be on the tree. Anyway, first round, I flinched and anticipated the bulb, and it wasn't on. Got back on the button, it lit, come off. And the guy beside me was 0-1. And, man, luckily for me, that two-tone has an 80 shot on the button. And I waited until he cracked the throttle, and I grabbed it. And I was 005 in front at the finish line to win. He just lifted too soon. He gave me a window. And we go up for second round. And, damn, Ben, what did I do second round? Do you remember?
Nah, not as first, to be honest. What is that when you, really missed it?
No, the really missed it when I flinched was the 0.1 light. I was pushing the button back on when the light come on. It's easy to find because me and Ben, I literally text Ben every pass this weekend. So we were
keep them all straight.
Yeah. So let's see here. Oh God. There's a lot of passes. So there's my 0.1 light. There it is. So I wasn't terrible. I was 032. The guy I raced was 12. He was 1 above. I was 5 thou in front to break out 6 thou. That's not bad. In my opinion, I hit the tree, didn't know I was late, and I took 5 thou to break out 6. Mm-hmm. I wish I would have took that 5 thou later on in this conversation. Anyway, so I was done Thursday, and Thursday I noticed a guy on a Sportster racing no box and the Gamblers. And I'm like, well, I'm doing that tomorrow, but I want to run box. So I went and bought a tech card for box, which is cars, racing with the cars. And I was going to do bikes and cars because I was still trying to get used to sitting around for 4 and 5 hours between passes. And I was having a hard time with it. Time run, 00 on the tree, I think, Friday morning, or one-time run. I come back with the cars. The cars I was 009. I come back for the bikes and I was 13. Pretty tight little deal there, 2 different lanes. We'll take it. First round with the cars, I was 027. Car guy went 006 red. And I took that. It's been a long time since I raced cars. I like it.
A minute.
I enjoy racing them. I think that they make you great. They make you better. The motorcycles, I was 9. Other guy was 003. So these guys, man, I'm telling you, were ruthless. It was, he had me on the tree. He broke out 8 thou. I broke out 3 thou. He took stripe. I rolled out of it right at the finish line, let him go. Come back for the cars. I was 1 red. Foobarred it. Bike slowed up a lot, but realistically, that was good data for me because I was getting more laps in the bike so we could dial it. Because you guys remember I was riding my Top Gas bike, which is a nitrous bike with nitrous fuel on motor. So when the weather gets good, it's going to move because it's got too heavy of a fuel. It's not the ideal fuel combo for a motorbike at the time. Here's the interesting one. I went up for the second round of the Bike Gamblers, and I'm in the left lane. We stage. I'm looking at the top yellow, and out of my peripheral, I see someone walking up. And I thought it was the starter. And I really literally focused on it and then looked back the tree and the light lit and I come off the button. I was 22, which wasn't terrible. The other guy was 001. I broke out 7 thou. Now, this is not me complaining, but I went to the tower to tell them that what happened was a guy with a leaf blower was blowing.
What happened was.
Yeah. The guy with a leaf blower was blowing right beside the guy in the other lane, which he didn't see because he was behind him, but I was looking that way, so I seen it, and it just blew my mind. And all I went up there to do was tell whoever was in control in the tower, look, we can't have guys with leaf blowers up there on Saturday. And lo and behold, Jimmy Owen was the one that met me, and he asked me what was going on. I just said, hey, man, I just want to make sure that the leaf blower guys ain't up there tomorrow while we're racing. I said, because like it distracted me. It possibly cost me that round. And he goes, oh, you lost because of it? I'm like, well, I don't know if it's because of it, but it didn't help me any. He goes, come back for the next round. I said, are you sure? That ain't why I come here. I said, I come here to make sure that we didn't have this problem tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day that I care about. He said, I'm positive. Anybody I need to tell? He goes, no, sir. You just now told me. I said, all right. So
Jimmy, first off, and I talked about this when I went down the Man Cup, but Jimmy's the man.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
we've known him for a while. I know you've known him some, but I've known him for a long time.
Yeah. At this moment, my box is set for 4. I was 001 red, me and Ben added 5. So it was set for 4.
But I'm going to tell you all this too, because I didn't know Dustin was going to talk about this scenario. But this like, there's no bullshit coming out of Dustin's mouth, because he called me, told me or texted me. I'm like, man, I was like, I think I even suggested it, right? Or maybe not, but I
well,
like
Hannah,
like,
Jerry's daughter was fired up. She was like, that guy was with a blower up there. They was the other track worker run up to get him and like bring him back. They knew they done wrong. And Jimmy even told me that he done told them boys to stay off the starting line with the blowers while people was racing.
Well,
so
I told
they knew
you
the situation.
Tell them like, hey, don't let that happen. And like,
yeah.
So what you said is it. And honestly, I seen in one of the videos later on that Spooky posted, like, I seen a guy like getting pretty close up there with a leaf blower. I was like, damn, dude, chill out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get it. They're trying to get the sand off.
In my defense, I thought it was the start. Like, I couldn't, it was in my peripheral, so I didn't know if it was the starter walking up to stop us for some reason, or if it was just like the other guy's pit crew member walking up. I didn't know at the time. And when I got back, Jerry's daughter Hannah said that it was the guy with the leaf blower. And I'm like, what the? It's like, this don't need to happen again. Yeah. And she was right. She was like, they ought to put you back in. I'm like, well, that's not why I'm going up there. I want to make sure that tomorrow that they stay away from us. You know, I mean, I thought Jack Corpella putting a camera beside you when you're staging was bad. That got me, you know. And anyway, you know, meanwhile, the box is set for 4. 004 is what it's set for if I do my job, you know, staging right, yada, yada. Go back for the next run of bikes. I'm 007. The other rider was 36, so I had plenty of room to get out of it and all that good stuff. And then me and Ben send pictures back and forth for a while of weather stations and tickets of the old weather. Like we're trying to make sure that we're not doing no wrong here because we're still racing. And I'm trying to figure out what we're doing here.
Well,
so I raced
one more round, I think.
I thought we did, but I don't see it. I mean, the next round
called then. I don't know.
It might have got called then. I think that was it. Yeah, they called it. We got down to 8 bikes and they called it. And then the next ticket that I have a picture of was Saturday. Like it was the day. And cool thing is they told me I didn't want to split. I go up there. There's 6 guys looking at me. We just want to split and call it a night. And the director of Division 2 was standing there. And I'm like, well, I mean, I come here to race, but I'll do whatever y'all want to do. Like, I didn't come here to not finish something, you know. And I was like, we just want to split. We're getting $275. I'm like, $275 don't mean, I mean, that's a tank of gas in the the big RV, you know. But
there you go.
yeah, but anyway, we split. But when I got my money payout Saturday, it was $335, so that was nice. I didn't, you know, they were off. Yeah, they were off on their math a little, apparently.
That's that South Kakalaki math.
Yeah. It might have been that guy run over Jerry's bike. He doesn't matter. But anyway, the worst round ever. Me and you kind of come to the conclusion that I just pushed the button hard because my glove was weird feeling there. I couldn't get my thumb right, and you can't cut your thumb out, and yada, yada. But first round on Saturday, I'm 62 on the tree, but thank the Lord, the other racer was 015. But it didn't matter, because there was a buyback. You could have bought back, so it didn't matter. First round was basically your time run that you could pay for if you needed it. I did show up to race finally. In round 2, I was 12. I raced.
So wait, hold on. Did you win the first round, or did you have to buy back?
I won. They went red on me. 015 red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what did we change in the box?
Nothing, because I knew it was me. Like, there's no way that we moved that much, you know.
Yeah.
So basically, we go into second round almost like it's first round, except we have a little idea what to dial. Like, we don't know about what our light should be. We know what it was the day before. That's all we know.
Oh, we got to pause for a quick second. First off, we also got backstory this a little bit. I know everybody who's listening has probably seen Dustin's post, and I appreciate like the praise I'm getting. And I do appreciate that. I played a little part, but I'm telling y'all, when we teamworked the F out of this, I'm not joking. Like, I felt like I was scared. Like, if I was going to tell my man the wrong thing, like
I was mentally exhausted. I'm still mentally exhausted. I'll tell you how bad it was. I come back from a pass. I sent Ben a picture before I did my wife. Like, Ben got the picture of the ticket first, and then Tamara got it next. And, you know, Tamara would tell me, keep going, or give me a heart, or you need to do better. She would lecture me. Ben would therapeutically talk to me.
And then we get to work on number crunching.
Yeah. So we go up for round 2. I'm racing Candy Hagedorn. Now,
I don't even think we were so in the midst of it. Like, I don't even know who you raced except for the last 2. So that's cool. I didn't know you were racing.
Yeah, I raced Candy. My dad raced with Candy and Roy when I was a kid. Like, I don't think I've ever raced Candy. I think I raced Roy one time at a bike race that Danielle had, that SDR series, and he had a street bike, and he told me that bike was broke or something. He didn't come race that round, so I got a free round or something. We worked out a deal. He's like, I won't come up, and I was like, I mean, you can come up. I mean, I can't remember the details on it, but I had to race Candy. I know that, you know, she's been doing this as long as I've been alive. So you know that she's going to be good. So my normal routine is a burnout, pull up, make sure everything's on, push the button in. It's time to get busy. But before I pushed that button in, I said, you better hit this tree. And I did. I was 12. She missed it or something. She was 04. She broke way out. Thanks to my dollar guy that was helping me, we were close to where we needed to be. She went a 52 off of 57. I went a 60 off of 61. So we had her stuff together. I did take 001 stripe. I run around her and took stripe. So I done my job there. Once again, we'll hear about that in a little bit. 001 stripe I took. We sit around for a long time. I think that was one of the longest times because they started the juniors. And we go back up for the next round, which was round 3. And I'll tell you, this round, I had a fire in my stomach. Like, I haven't been nervous. Yeah.
This was me every round.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ben's showing this woman looking at math and numbers. And
I know y'all. I'll post it tomorrow when we post it. But
it's
I
like geometry.
With the woman looking confused and all these geometry and math. Like, this was me every fucking round.
Yeah, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c.
Yep. And at the end of the night, it was damn near Darnell doing math, which was even worse. So
which I didn't even know, by the way. I didn't know Darnell was helping me.
I had to take the edge off. I'm telling you, the pressure was on you and me. Like, I felt it. Like, I was just scared to death you was going to come back and be like, listen here, you dumbass. And
but we were making some bold moves. Like, we're at this point, you know, we're if things are right now in third round, the weather was at its peak. Like, it was about to get real after this round. But I go up and I had to race. I can't remember who it was, to be honest. I think it was someone from Bradenton Team 2. But they were 04. I was 001. I was way off the gas, like 113 mile an hour. My average was probably 125 in the heat. So I killed over 10 mile an hour and took that win. But that round was probably, I haven't had butterflies, I guess you'd call it, in a long, long time. Now, I didn't have them on the racetrack, but sitting in the lanes, just on the bike, suited up, waiting for them to start pulling us, they were there. And
I know
the biggest thing for
crazy.
me,
like, when was the last time? Can you even think of like a last
I
time
cannot.
you were nervous or anxious?
I raced, we'll get to that part in the next part of this show that we're on, but I mean, I raced Boo for a championship title one round at Maryland, and I had 0 butterflies. 0. Yeah. And I think it was more of the unknown, like the fact that we didn't know what really, we thought we had educated guesses on what to dial, but you didn't know what the weather did the 30 minutes you were sitting up there, or 20 minutes, or however long it was. Now, I did have a 001. The perk of that 001 was the next round it got us a bye, and we needed that bye because we had educated guess on what it was going to run, but we didn't know. And saying that, me and Ben said it's going to run a 557. Well, I threw a 6 on it. I had a bye. Didn't matter, right? And I was 004 red. It went a 557. So me and Ben, when I crossed the finish line and looked up and seen a 57, I said, first thing I said was, damn, we done a good job of dialing that. Like, it was the number that we needed to put on it. And this is when it gets interesting. So from this point right here, we're at 1,600 foot DA, which it's come down some already. It was near 2,000. But before we go back up, we're in the 14s, 13s, like it's dropping fast. And we stuck with it because it didn't move enough to make me think, or Ben think, that it was going to pick up a bunch. So we left a 56 on it. And I had to race, who did I race?
What's that one you raced? That one, Dalton.
No, Dalton had a bye this round, and I had to race, who was it? 2146. Oh, it was the one that rode Boo's bike and Top Gas at Man Cup.
Oh, Ricardo?
Yes, Ricardo. I had to race Ricardo. And we left a 56 on it. I was 001 again. And saying this, me and Ben is patting the box every round because Dustin is getting dead focused. Like, I'm getting more fire under me every round we went for a little while. And Ricardo missed it. He was 04.
We're working on the box at that point.
Yeah.
And let me tell you all this too. Dustin don't like to add random numbers. He likes to add double, or he likes to add fives or tens or a 10.
Yep. Yeah. Ben's like, just put 2 or 3. And I'm like, fives or tens, all I'm giving you, buddy.
I'm like 3. And you're like, it's either 5 or nothing. And I'm like, put it at 5. Yeah. And I'm like, how about 7th out? And he's like, it's either 5 or 10. I'm like,
yeah. Yeah. I don't do single digits. I don't trust them. But I was 001, take 01. What a great job of me. But I had a lot of room. You know, he was 04 on the tree, 1 above. So he gave me basically 500s to play with, you know. And then we come back and we're watching the weather. After that pass, the DA was like 1,297 feet. And we're sitting there, and this is that pass was at 8:30. It was at 8:26. Mm-hmm. And I sit down in my chair, and I had the weather station. I turned it on. I pushed sample, and I felt this cold, crisp air go through my leathers. I could feel it in my skin. I'm like, oh dear. And instantly I sent a picture to Ben, and we went from, 1,297 feet to 984. Yep. And we're like, what are we going to do? Like, it's dropping quick. And, we just now dialed a 556 and went a 60 out of it. We're like trying to crunch numbers. The bike was picking up a little early on, but it usually picked up. The problem we was having with dialing it was this bike was moving ET from the 330 to the finish on us when the air got better. It was kind of front and half and pretty consistent until the weather really started getting good.
It was front half and consistent until that pass you're talking about. What that have been at how many bikes? 5?
I was racing Dalton, so the pass I just talked about was at 5. Yes.
Yeah, that was at 5. So
Yeah.
it was inconsistent, we'll call it, from 3:30 on before this. We almost missed this, remember? Because like
Yeah, we
I
picked
was
up
looking at
over
it.
one in the 60 that round at
Yeah,
$5.
yeah, and we had to go back and kind of do some real ciphering, and that's
Yeah.
really when it really got interesting, and that's when like I started to get a little. I was like, man, there's a
But
lot of
this is
pressure on
when Ben
somebody
comes
sitting
in
in a
clutch,
recliner.
guys. I gotta say this one. So I got the bike gassed up, checked the tire, it's on the charger, like it's ready. The dial in's wiped off of it because I didn't know we changing it. And I'm on the phone with Ben, like not texting no more. We are at this point we're calling each other. We ain't got time for the airwaves to send it, you know. And Ben was like, "It's going to run a 52 or a low 53. It's what it's going to run." I'm like, "I'm going to put a 2 on it, and if I need to spray to take, I will. That's what I want to do." And I have to race Dalton Markham, which sucked because he was my Bristol teammate. And we was hoping we'd wait to the final for that. But the only thing me and Ben didn't think about, well, we did, but we didn't know it was going to happen this way, is we thought they were going to go by reaction time on lane choice. I was just 001. Dalton was trip zip. So in our mind, okay, we got to go the right lane. Well, we got up there and they had a coin toss. I'm like, let's do that. Like, I'm cool with that.
Don't y'all
like,
get it twisted. We have some variations from lane to lane. We
a
were
little bit, yeah.
doing some like next
Yeah.
level like calculus on this bitch.
Yeah.
Hey, no, here we go. This is perfect. We was getting surgical with that bitch.
Yeah, you're right. And the funny thing of it was they flipped a coin and I won the coin toss. And John was like, "Ain't it best 2 out of 3?" And I was there pushing my bike. Nope, we're doing one flip. We're done here. I'm done. And so, you know, me and Dalton had a race. I knew it was going to be a good race. I was a little late. In my defense, this is the thing that Ben come in clutch on. Ben told me on the phone, like they're calling us up, he goes, 52. So I just went and put a 52 on it. Didn't second guess him, didn't do the math myself or nothing. It was just 52. That's what I put on it.
And I
get up there.
I was starting to get a little, I wasn't bad, but I was starting to get a little Darnell because the pressure was getting to me. I had to take the ease off, and I'm looking at the text. The last text I got to Dustin before this pass seems like it's on a 52 with a 5.
Yeah, that's what he said. You know, he was telling me, he was texting me and calling me like it was nuts. And I get up there and I'm sitting beside Dalton and he goes, "You think it's going to pick up?" He looked at my bike and he seen the dial and I said, "Yeah, the air's getting better." I didn't lie. That's what we thought it was going to do, right? Yeah. Well, then John was live.
I got a good one too, though. Before you continue, we stopped messing with the box at this point. This was no more box changes.
Oh yeah,
and we looked at the range, and we also called that because I literally said, worst case scenario, you'll be 24. That's also in my text.
Yeah. Ben said that I would be anywhere from 001 to 24 on the tree. I think at this moment,
based on our box adjustments all throughout. No,
it was 004 or 023 on the tree was our variation that I had been tending to do this day, and. So we roll up there, you know, John was live. In the live video, John's like, "Dustin dialed her down. He must be going to spray him back into her." No, we dialed this bitch, right? Like, this is what we thought it was going to run. And, Ben did. I just said, fuck it. And I wrote the shit on there and here we go, you know. And Dalton lit it red. He let me simmer. I counted in my helmet 6 Mississippis before he lit his stage. And I think that might have held me up. 2 reasons. One reason I was counting Mississippis I shouldn't have been doing. And another reason is I was sitting there simmering on the 2-step for 6 seconds. But I was 23. He was 9 red. I crossed the finish line and look up, and this sumbitch goes a 552 with an 8. And I'm like, fuck, man, we nailed, like, Ben just told me to put a 2 on it, and it nailed it to a T. And at this point, I'm like, I'm going to win. Like, I'm going to win this shit. Like, I was fully, even Dalton walked in chairs like, "You're going to Vegas." I'm like, "I don't know. We're going to try." I said, "I got to go through one more ombre before we get to that." Cause now we are in the finals.
At this point, I had taken the edge off just enough that I was patting myself on the back saying, "You the baddest motherfucker ever to sit in a recliner," because I told Dustin he was going to run a 52 with a 5. He goes a 52 with an 8. So I'm 3 thou off that. I say, "Hey, worst case, your worst light's going to be a 24. He's 23. So I'm 1 thou off that." I'm armchair quarterbacking, and I got like 4,000th of your.
They better pray that I never get to go to Vegas and you're coming with me. You know what I mean?
Like, of your total fucking package. And at this point,
So
I'm like feeling good. So I'm like, no pressure. When's the next round, bud?
yeah, and then the DA dropped a little more. We're about 800. Ben told me that leave it on the 52, and I said, let's put a 1 on it, and if I need to, I can spray to take right at the stripe. He goes, that'll work. That's what we were going with. So I put a 1 on the bike.
I said I was getting in the nitty gritty. I said it's going to go between a 52 with a 1 and a 52 with a 3.
Yeah. And I was like, if I get down there, my bike has an 80 shot on the button. If he's out front, I'll snatch it, go around him real quick. Maybe he'll lift and give me some room. We're playing strategies. This is University of Win details for y'all. You're getting a little teaser of it. Anyway, I put a 1 on it. They call us up. We get up there, and they have this like deal where they get all the pairs paired, lane choices decided. I won the coin toss again and got left lane. They get us all lined up. It was Super Pro, Sportsman, and then the box. And they were running all 4 finals in a row. And the only thing they had left after that was junior dragster stuff. And, man, like we sit there, I was calm as a cucumber, no butterflies. I hit my practice tree on the delay box a few times. I was a little lazier than because it's got numbers. It'll tell you when you come off the button. And I was a little slower than I had been, but I was consistent. I'm like, I'm just going to trust it. So before I staged, he dialed a 547. I was on a 51. I dialed down 1 to spray to take if I need to. I shut my shield. I pulled the lever in, set my button, made sure my thumb felt right. And I was like, hit the tree. That was everything in me was focused on hitting the tree. I come off the button. The bike leaves, and he checks out. Like, I mean, guys, if he wasn't 3 bikes in front of me, it was like he left me. And I'm like, what? It stunned me. It stunned me so bad that I had to like tell myself, hey, you got to spray if you need to. Like, I had to remind myself. And my bike just plugged 2nd and 3rd gear in the 8th mile on motor because it's got nitrous gear on it. When it hit 3rd, I was, probably 100 foot from the stripe. I grabbed the button, and it literally, so much as I, mashed the button, I shot up to him coming around him. I rolled out, got back in it, rolled out, and I was 006 behind. I was 003 on the tree. He was 004 on the tree. I went a 52 with an 8 off of 51, and he went a 48 with a 1 off of 47. If I would have just listened to Ben, I probably would have won that race. In my honest opinion, that's what I think. Instead of me wanting to dial it down 1 to spray to take, which is a good strategy, I think if I would have just succumbed to running on motor and not using nitrous, at the very tip if I needed it, which can work both ways. It was just such a tight race that there was no room for error. And I was 6 thou behind. And I was bummed more that me and Ben had literally smoked our brains all day of trying to like analyze this race and try to figure out what was going on. And we had this planned out, guys. Like, if I won, me, Ben, and Spencer was driving to Vegas together. And it would have been great because we could have took turns driving. It would have been just a cool ass trip.
Oh, and I broke the news to Tiffany like during 3rd round. And when you went up for 3rd round, she's like, what? I was like, by the way, when Dustin wins this, I'm going to Vegas in 3 weeks. She's like, what? She's like, you didn't even ask. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm just telling you what's going down.
Like, that's what I think that's what's bothered me the most is like we had a cool ass plan deal going on, and my wife she really wanted to get, like, I've never seen her so excited about maybe going to something. And I was disappointed that I let everybody down more than I just lost. It was that I let everybody down because I got there. Like, I went all the way to the final. And now saying this, guys, I hadn't run a division bracket finals in 10 years. Like, the last time I done it was with Jerry on a KZ. The bike quit shifting. We fought Gremlin the whole weekend. I was like, I'm done with bringing junk here. And at this point, I knew I had good equipment. I was ready. And I was. I had great strings of lights. I had a fucking great tuner dialer on the phone. Like, it was all working out to like I was going to do this. Now, Mr. Rodriguez that beat me, he was the one that crashed his bike at Gainesville in basically the staging lanes.
Yeah, y'all probably saw the video. It was like terrible, horrific, scary.
Yeah, they fired the bike up. He went to give it gas to it was a slider bike to move it to go on the track, and the throttle hung wide open. Shot him across in front of the tower, through a fence, and hit a palm tree. He's in the hospital for a few days. Bad shape. bike got totaled. It took him all last year to fix his bike. So he told me that after that, he brought God back into his life and everything's for, Jesus Christ. And I was like, man, like, you deserve this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we had an outstanding drag race and it was a barn burner. It was exactly what a final should be for a trip to Vegas. And this time it was his turn. I'm okay with it. I'm still going to lick my wounds and just have my lip stuck out for a little bit longer because I'm the one that screwed it up, nobody else. But in my position, I think I done a really good job of a style racing that I don't normally do. I haven't done in years, just sitting around so much. And I'll be honest with you, it's Thursday and Friday, I was like, I'm not doing this again. And then Saturday, I was like, this ain't so bad. Like, I had time I take my leathers off after a pass. You got your shorts on, you're sitting on the tent. Me and Jerry Turner were just sitting there shooting the shit. Like, it was cool. Like, it was just relaxing. It wasn't like a job like I have been racing for the past 10 years. And I would love it.
Well,
I would love
nothing
to do
against your customers, because I know that's important and that's your business now. But I mean, like, you didn't have people coming up. Like, and don't take this the wrong way, Dustin. Appreciate y'all, need y'all to come up and talk to them. But like, it's just a different. You weren't.
This weekend, I got to go racing. I wasn't working, and that's okay. Like, I love going to, SDBA or XDA, and somebody needs a part and I happen to have it and help them get to race, because if I don't have it, they might not get to race. So that's my job, is to have stuff they need. But this weekend, David Young did get a nitrous gauge from me, but I had so much time. It didn't, that wasn't no big deal. We just got to chill and relax and race and have a good time. The only way it would have been better for me is if you were there racing too. That's probably the only way. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if I happened to won this weekend and we were going to Vegas, we'd have to leave next week. No shit. Like, we'd have been leaving next week. You don't want me and Ben at the race together focused on one motorcycle. I'm telling you, we just now flexed our muscle. And just because it wasn't even the fact that I was wrong or Ben was wrong ever, but we were coming to an agreement on what we thought together. And you don't want me to be at Vegas and Ben standing beside me. I'm telling you. Like, that was the most, dude, I got goosebumps right now. Like, it was the most epic shit that we did this weekend. I can't explain it. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, how we go from a 563 bike and chase the dial in to be dead on accurate every round, because we lost 1,200, 1,400 feet of elevation that day. Like, it is just, the only thing that would have made it easier is if my bike wasn't all over the place, but it was just the weather swing was so hard. Like, I don't think either one of my bikes would have been any better. I think they both would have picked up. And
it's hard to deal with that, but you were on top of it and we made the right decision. And then look, you went a 52 with an 8 in the final, but you sprayed a little, then you let off. We were all over that. I don't know.
I think it would have went a low 2 or a high 1 at the end.
I felt like pretty confident after all that, knowing how you raced that to go a 52 with an 8. I actually feel like my prediction of a 52 with a 1 to a 52 with a 3 was pretty fucking spot on.
I agree. He gave me 15 thou, but when you take my light away, I had 12 thou to figure it out, and
here's the thing. Here's what I had to tell Dustin too: is one, how many people say I'm going to say they're going to do something and do it? Even the good people. We're not talking about racing, just in anything. When you say you're going to do something and do it, especially when there's like some luck involved, right? It's not like Dustin said he was going to go drive to a different town. Like, that's obviously achievable, right? Like, barring you get an accident. Like, but to say I'm going to
in competition for something.
But like, it goes even farther than that, because you said I'm going to go to Bristol and race a couple races to qualify for divisions. You did that. Then you went to divisions and you said I'm going to win division to go to Vegas, and you were 0.006 of a second from doing that. Like, I told Dustin, I said, that's remarkable that you, like, it wasn't, you didn't hit the goal to a T, but like, being that close after not doing it for over a decade. And then to top it all off, like, here's the thing. Sorry, remind me his name again, who you raced?
It's
Santi
Rodriguez Jr.
Yeah, Santi. Look, hats off to him, because I told Dustin you're racking. I told him, he's racking his brain and upset. Like, yeah, we all are when we lose, especially when we feel like we made a mistake or we gave a race away that we could have won.
He didn't give me no room.
That's why I kept telling Dustin, like,
Yeah.
look, if he wouldn't have laid down such a good package, it would have been easier on you. He made it very, very hard. Dustin basically had to take double O on the good side
to win. Yep.
He took double O. It's just on double O behind. So
I'll tell you something that got me today is I ordered some seat pans for stock from Mike Burkhart, BMF, one of our sponsors, and Tamara had a bunch of boxes out in the shop stacked up for me that come in while I was gone. And I grabbed the box and I seen it. And I'm like, what the heck? And it said to Dustin Lee, the 2023 NHRA Summit Motorcycle Champ. And I'm like, God dang. He had faith in me, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man.
Burkhart sent that to you?
Yeah, he did. It was on the box, man. Yep. And I sent him a picture. I'm like, man, almost. He said, there's always next year. I'm like, I know. It's like, damn, like I tried. You know what I mean? Like, and that was like, to me, it's like, fuck, I let somebody else down. You know what I mean?
Man, that just shows how many people are actually in your corner.
Yeah, it was cool. And I mean, man, I would go right back right now and do it again. Like there's some people out there that didn't want to see Dustin win, and that's okay. Like all you all did was you lit a fire under me, and I will win, and I will go to Vegas or wherever the hell it's at, and I will win there before I give up. I promise. They lit the fire under me. I'm more motivated over this than I have been anything. This is superior over BAMP chasing and everything now, because I got a little taste of, I guess maybe the difference in racing and all that stuff challenged me. And I like that, like, cause I haven't had this new, like, challenge of racing. Usually it's easy to figure out my top gas bike's kind of always hard to dial when you're bracket racing it, when you're spraying, but it was just, I don't know. I have a fire under me now that I don't think it's going to go away.
No.
And I'm ready to go right now to do it again. I wish there was a way you could buy in and I would roll into Vegas and we'd light them up because I'm ready.
But the crazy thing is, like,
what's that?
Like, you still, like, you could go to Vegas next year and the goal might not be accomplished.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's one more step even after going to Vegas.
Yeah, you got getting there is just one of the, the first process of the deal is going to a track and either battling for points all year to go to the bracket finals or get lucky enough like I do. And the local track has 15 people in points and none of them want to get their license. So it worked out for me, which I've been talking to Red, and Red's known me for years, and I've raced with him, during their point series years ago. And he wanted me to come, and he knows that I'm a good racer and it would be an asset to the team. Not bragging on myself. It's just the way it is. Yeah. And to see him so excited when we're down to 3 and me and Dalton, which was Team Bristol, is still in, he come up to us and was like, if I can get 3 of y'all to go to Vegas, I don't know how excited I'm going to be. And I'm like, well, we got a race. He goes, I know. I was like, well, at least one of us going to the finals. He says, exactly. And I let him down because the other 2, we got Jesse Edens that won pro and going to Vegas, local guy. Van Greer won sportsman. Everybody knows Van Greer.
Van's an OG.
Yeah, like legend. And he's going to Vegas. And I walked up to Van. I'm like, man, I was 1 round away from having you haul my bike. And he was like, I'd put it in the back of the truck. I'm like, man, but realistically, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to take my trailer, my stuff, my program, me and Ben and Spencer roll together. It would have been absolutely an epic YouTube video or something. Like,
I mean, I probably would have went to jail. I'm just gonna say
we might have all went to jail. Yeah, but the only perk of it all is that we don't have to drive over 4,000 miles. That's the only perk that I can tell you. My wife was super excited because I was going to fly her there. It would have been an easy trip for her and Harper. And at the end of the day, I done a great job. I feel like that I had a great time. I got to see some friends that I hadn't seen in years because they don't run motorcycle races. They stay at their local track and do this deal. I know people that's raced division finals for 10 plus years and not even been to a final at a bracket finals. And I done it, my first time trying with good equipment in 10 years of not doing it. So I done a good job. I had a good fucking crew chief. I had a lot of friends there cheering me on. I had some that wasn't, but that's okay. And it was
They
cool,
motivate
man.
you too.
Yes, they do.
Too.
They light a fire under me. And I can't really, I am upset that I messed it up, but it was just nailing our dial-ins. Like, you guys don't know, like, every round to me, seeing that the bike was going to run what we predicted was almost like winning the race. I'm like, golly, like, how do we do that? Like,
I'm telling y'all, they know now. They know now, because I was stressed as F from like round 1 through round 4, and then like after that I was like, man, Darnell.
And that's what's crazy is I don't think I was that stressed. Like, I think you might have been more stressed than me because you wasn't there and you couldn't feel what I was feeling, like the weather and the air changes. I had to text it to you. You know what I mean?
I'll put it like this. And for y'all listening, like, Dustin and I had a plan. I was like, look, man, all I'm doing is like cleaning up the garage and starting to do all this stuff for the wedding next weekend. I said, I will be around. My phone will be on loud. I will 100% will answer. Because it's funny, like earlier in the year, I don't even remember. It was some race that Dustin was at, and he tried to call me or text me, and I didn't have service. I was like randomly at some friends in BFE. Like, if y'all know what that is, it's bumfuck Egypt. Anyways, we didn't have service. And so like, hold on a second. What the heck just happened to my computer? Oh gosh, hold on. Sorry.
We're still recording, so
I know. Yeah, like something happened. So I was ready for it, but like Thursday, Friday, like, I was trying to be helpful and do that, but like Saturday, I guess it hit me that like we were in this together. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I guess I didn't know
man, it was the best feeling ever, man.
Until Saturday came, and then when like we were going back and forth, and then like to get the tickets back, I'm like, oh shit, he did dial what I said, and that's why the pressure kept mounting.
Well, we were. What's crazy about it is every time you predicted a dial in, we were on the same page, so it wasn't even an argument. So when we went to the 52, I didn't even second guess it. I just wrote the shit on there. Like, it was like they called us up. You know what I mean? I had no time to debate. It was just time to go.
Because we were on the phone. You're like, hold on a second. And then I heard him in the background, motorcycles. And you were like, I got to go. And you were like, what is it? And I was like, 52.
Yep. And I just got the paint because they wanted the dial-ins on the right side of the bike. So I had to flip that to a 2 and then just shoe polish a 2 on it. And here we went. And, man, that we done some cool shit. And it's a shame that we couldn't have somehow recorded it and people could have literally, this is as good as it gets, us giving you the podcast, because like during the moment, it was like, oh man, like the only way it could have been better is if you were standing beside me in the lanes. You know what I mean? Because we could have debated other things while we had like a few more minutes, because we got cut short. It seems like every time we had a lot of time, but it felt like when they called us up, it was like, what's the weather right now? And we had to figure out the weather and then decide right then, and, I knew by looking at the local weather that there was a cold front coming, and it was on point like 5 or 6 o'clock. Here it come, and everything changed. I was doing all I could. I was grinding right. I got a dry race board that when even I didn't text it to me, and I was writing it down every like 30, 45 minutes of what the weather was doing to keep track of it. Because I was trying to like see if there was a pattern, like every 45 we lose 100 foot of DA or whatever. And
we got after it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Mentally, I'm still mentally exhausted from like all the mental like stress and numbers crunching, and I'm a damn hillbilly. Like, it ain't my cup of tea, but we did it and it was freaking awesome, and I can't wait to do it again. The only way it would be better is, like I said, next year you're going to have to come down, race a few races. Me, you, Jerry, John, Dalton, and David Young, the 6-pack, and let's go get it.
I'm in it, man. Now I'm pumped up again. You done relayed it. I'm excited. So y'all got that. That's I know I've said it before, and I think you have, but in my opinion, literally to do what Dustin was trying to do, and to do what some of these great racers have done in the past, in my own opinion, as a motorcycle bracket racer, that is the hardest thing to do, is to win an NHRA World Championship, because of those steps you have to take.
It's like 3 different races, basically.
Even harder if your local track is just a knockdown drag out, where like you've got 25 people battling for points every weekend, top 10 go, and like everybody's wanting to go. Like Dustin said, like unfortunately, like Bristol gets a
like Summit Motorsports Park, them guys
worried about going. So yeah, it's just
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Their priorities are a little different. I mean, I'm at the point in my racing that my bucket list is just, there's not much left. I have a handful of things left that I want to do, and the rest of it's just racing for dollars, chasing paper. And the car one is going to be the last one that I really feel like I'm going to drive for, and it's probably going to bankrupt me trying to do it because I'm going to lose a lot before I can get it done, and I might not never get it done. That's also why it's the last one that I want to try. Ben's been trying to get me to go for years. I got a little taste of this weekend what it would be like, and man, it's going to be rough. Like, hopefully, if I was going to do that, I wouldn't be on that bike. I would be on my bracket bike that's more consistent with weather changes. But it's coming. Like, that's going to be one of my things one day. I've won car races, but I want to win one of them big jobs. That's what I want. The big payout, the big money, the type deal where you're talking thousands of dollars splits, big deal. And I'm not saying it'll happen, but it is on my bucket list.
Yeah, we'll do that. Maybe we'll just be old, retired, running around the motorhome chasing it.
Yeah, I'm hoping we got a diesel pusher with air ride by then.
Yeah. Oh man. Well,
so now we're back. We're going to, I guess, rewind for a week, right? And then we're going to be finishing up what we started this year. One of our main occupying things of the race season is XDA. For me, XDA and STBA is what I do. That's my plans. And then, of course, you guys know I've Bristol a little bit, and then Knoxville more than a little bit.
And XDA is the only series I ran.
Yeah.
And so let's look back a little bit. The race before, we didn't get to finish. All the sportsmen that ended up splitting everything.
And we'll get back to this topic when we talk about how the race ended, because I feel like, and we've talked about this.
We talked about it after the last Virginia
Me and you've talked about it quite a bit.
Sucks. I mean,
the stopping a race that's points races and not finishing them affects a lot. Like, this is where
points racers.
This is where I always scream that when you win a championship or a race, that it takes luck. As the reason being is, let's just say, for example, you're chasing a guy on points, and for me, example, I was leading 560 points, and then I was in. Everybody else around me was out, and they shut the race down, split the purse, didn't finish what we started. So that cost me an opportunity of stretching points out. And I'll tell you right now, before we even do the cap, I didn't win the championship for the first time in 4 years. Yeah. I'm okay with it because I have won it that many times in a row. But if we finished that race, it could have been a different outcome. You know what I mean? So that's where, in my opinion, you got to have a little bit of luck on your side. And I always scream it's God's will. That if you win something, it's just His plan. I just get to live His glory, I guess. But when we get into the recap, I told you guys on our last podcast, all I could foresee myself at XDA achieving was one championship. And that's all I don't really feel like I deserve 560 because I had a lot of bike issues this year, didn't have the hot rod that I've always had, and I'll get it fixed this winter and have it right. But I was going to give myself a shot at one. And, the only thing I wanted at XDA more than anything, I guess I'm setting myself up to talk about it, but is that, we didn't do a pre-race because the weather looked shitty, like early in the week. And we were bummed because all I wanted to do was go race the Gamblers race and give it one more shot. All you listeners know that, and you guys probably already know the results because you've seen Facebook, but all I've wanted to do is get this curse broke and get this monkey off my back all year. I've been to the semis. I've been to the quarters. Before this year, I hadn't seen past the third round at all. Like, I think it was more like second round and then sometimes third. But I just had a monkey on my back. So I was bummed that the weather looked bad, that I wasn't going to get one more shot. I was going to have to wait until next year to try it again. I was just distraught about it. And luckily, the good Lord cleared the weather up, and we didn't know this until we're leaving. We didn't have time to do a pre-race podcast because it was time to go then, and we drove up and had our routine foxy fish. Boy, I like to have some blue crabs right now. Thinking about that, and we basically went to work. Ben was testing, I was testing. We didn't get much testing because it's busy on Fridays. There was a lot of people, a lot of pros. The pros seem to take up a lot of the Friday testing time because the rotations. If there's an issue during the pros test session, they got to clean it up. Well, by the time they get it cleaned up, it's time for their next session. So I know, there's some hurdles we got to figure out. And over the weekend, Jason even said that, they got to do something to make it better. And he just don't know what it is yet. And I've thought about it quite a bit. And I don't know what it is. But I promise you that they'll keep working to try to figure out to make it better. And that's the good thing about XDA is he'll lose sleep over trying to figure out solutions. He's not a repeat the same process over and over to try to get different results type of guy. He's going to do something. And whatever he does, you just got to support it and hope it works. So, do we start in the gamblers race?
Well, I want to start here at first, and then of course, my computer's kind of locking up right now. Internet's something. We got too much bandwidth. We're too long-winded. But so before so we talked about Virginia not quite finishing. So the sportsman classes all got split. It ended where it was. Dustin and I weren't thrilled about it, but it is what it is. We got to live with that. Now that being said, there was Pro Street, Real Street, and I think 460 is what still had to finish from the VMP race. Anyways, my point is this: I think coming into the season finale at Budds Creek, I really think, without seeing the grudge points, because I didn't really look at those, to be quite honest with y'all. But I think beforehand, out of all the other classes, really 460 was the only one that, I don't want to say it wasn't locked up, but it had the biggest lead. And that was, the OG Ronnie Procopio had a commanding lead on 460. So aside from 460, I mean, every other class that I can think of and looked up, man, it was anybody's game. Like, for example, Dustin and I were in contention in Top Sportsman. We were tied with the beautiful Robin Procopio for what? I think we were like fourth in points, tied all.
Yep.
10. There was like 10 or 12 different people that could have won Top Sportsman. Like, this shit was intense. And like we said, that's part of the reason why points are so important too. In finishing the races, because this was only a 5-race season anyways. And then to have, the fourth race shortened, give or take, you're kind of running off 4. I mean, there's no room for mistakes. I'll put it that way. Now, but that's each on every racer has to deal with that. We're not making excuses, but it just makes, and I think we saw it make for some really tight racing. So I just wanted to
something else for you to think about too. Back in the day, Pro ET had 2 races a weekend to gain points on. Yeah. Now we don't have that. We have 1. So back when there were 6 races, you actually had 12 races to lose or gain points. Now you just have 6. Well, there's 5 this year. There'll be 6 next year, but there's a lot less racing.
Yeah. So, where do you want to start then? We, like we said, we only had really 460 was, I don't want to say it was 100% locked down, but Ronnie would have had to have really screwed up, and he didn't. Trust me.
Yeah, I think the only ones that was honestly locked down was 460 and Pro Street. That's pretty much it.
Pro Street, even look at the points, wasn't,
Yeah, I think Jason had to set a damn record, though, that's damn near impossible to do it. It was weird.
Yeah. We'll get to all the points. So, yeah, go ahead. Tell them about the gamble code. You already gave the preamble. Just tell them how good it felt.
Yeah,
actually, you didn't win it on Friday, though.
No, I did not. And so I think at some point between Virginia and Maryland, I had found Ben's rabbit foot. I don't know exactly when, but I'm glad I did because I needed it. Because the biggest achievement for this weekend on the XDA race for me was this damn gamblers race. It has been just on me. Like, I think more than anything, just at this race, I didn't give a shit. To throw a curveball into it, my bracket bike testing decided it didn't want to work no more. So I had to park it. So I've been telling y'all all year that I need to be riding two-tone in that Gamblers race because I race it better. Been preaching it, been saying it. Well, I didn't want to put the laps on it. It's got a big motor. Well, this time I had to. There was no other options. That was all I had. That's what I had to race. And it was probably for the best. I wasn't great. Round 1, I was 06. I won. Rabbit foot. I found it. Ben lost it. Now the other guy was red. So, and it was not even a big enough spot for me to like the red to affect my reaction. I mean, it was like 2/10. It wasn't even that big of a spot to say, oh, the red light or whatever. Somebody red lights on me and I can see it. I'm going to try to destroy the tree. Just give me a free shot at it. But anyway, round 2, I got the results pulled up. Oh, I was 0-1. The other person was red, 0-5. So here's that rabbit foot thing. Now, I did my job. I was 0-1, dialed a 73, went a 72 with an 8. Saying this, I do want to mention that this damn motorcycle, it wasn't that consistent this weekend for us, but at this race, it went like 872 like 4 or 5 times in a row. If I didn't lift, it was still going to run 872. Round 3, rabbit foot. I was 072. The other guy was 070. And I don't know what happened. He was 2/10 off the dial. I can't even remember that race, to be honest. I don't even remember who it was. Oh, it was Stubner. So you raced his son, and I raced the dad, I think, that round or something.
Raced Joe, I raced Corey.
Yeah. You might have raced Corey the round before, I think. But
yeah, I don't think I made it to that round.
Yeah. And
Corey was 9 total on me.
Yeah. And then round 4, like it was the battle of the big men. Me and one of the battles of big men, actually. Me and Dale Hamilton. I was 21.
Race.
I was 21. He was 32. He went dead 6. I went 72 with a 6 on a 71, so I was 16 above. Great race. I had to take damn near 00, actually, looking at the math. That was a great race. Just racing my tail off. It meant a lot. Now, at this point, we got stopped because we had this mist, rain, whatever the hell you want to call it, and we decided to just finish it at some point on Saturday. Not Saturday morning because some of the racers thought they needed a time run. And that ain't usually how it works. Usually just start what finish what you started. But I was like, let us all qualify. We'll have plenty of time. It's just 2 rounds and we'll figure it out. And Jason agreed. And Jason wasn't that tore up about it. He's like, it's no big deal. Round 5, I had to race Nick Christmas. I was 32. He was 36. I was dead 0. He was dead 3.
Another hell of a race.
Man, like what a great race. And I knew that Nick's a great bottom ball bracer. I knew it was going to be a good race. I've heard that he might be the best ever. So that was a really cool achievement for me to beat the greatest ever bottom ball bracer ever to live. Though.
He
is an outstanding racer.
If I've been at a race with Nick, then I don't know, it was years ago, but no, I was definitely impressed. He was kicking ass a lot later than I was any day. So.
He reminds me a lot of a car racer. Like and the car racers are always, in my opinion, a step ahead of us. Even though I've raced with the cars, I feel like that a good car racer just utilizes every component that they have to be perfect, and that's Nick. I mean, he's doing everything he can to be the same every time, and that's what it takes.
100%. Darnell was lucky enough to get to hang out with Nick and I think it was Jason Samora, like for a decent. I don't know. I feel like it was probably we had a good trailer conversation. I mean, I don't remember it, but Darnell conversation with them. They were probably. They got to hang out with Darnell. They didn't actually get to hang out with me. So,
yeah.
But I was told about that.
Yeah. And then we got to the finals, and it was another battle of the big man. I mean, Stanley Russell, which is fuck. I mean, he's been doing this as long as I've been alive. He was winning races before I couldn't even get past 3rd round. Like he's a legend in the sport. If you don't know Big Stan, then you're not around the sport enough. We both wasn't great. He was better than I was. The rabbit foot come in clutch. The good Lord said, Dustin, this is your day. I was 063. He was 044. I dialed a 72, went a 76 to the 9. He was way off his dial, 900ths off his dial. He missed it. My bike was going to be close to what it was supposed to be. It was just my day. I was so damn happy to get that monkey off my back. But what's wild is I thought I would be like wanting to break champagne bottles open and chug it, but I was pretty calm, man. Like after I won, I guess because we had more shit to do. Like we had to run the bracket bash and all that stuff, and like I couldn't really just like have a great time and bring out the Dustin version of Darnell and just be so happy.
Darnell did for you.
You know, Darnell came in clutch on Saturday. I mean, you almost lost your toes and wasn't even aware of it, really.
Didn't even care. Still don't care.
No. I mean, I had to clean rubber off my sprocket. I had to clean rubber off my sprocket. I'm like, man, he's so lucky that his toe didn't get sucked in this damn thing and chew it off, you know.
Darnell was so tore up by the time like he got inherited pit bitch that like I'm surprised Dustin let Darnell push him up and back. Like but hey,
that 1596 was going to take anybody that could push it. I was trying not to blow my bike up. The reason being is I knew I had to go to the bracket finals next weekend, and that was the only bike I had that worked.
So you started marching through the bracket bash.
Yeah, we go into the bracket bash, and I lost round one of the bracket bash. Actually, I went red. Something I forgot to mention. In the division final race, Santine Rodriguez Jr. He did have to buy back first round, so technically we both won the same amount of rounds. But it is what it is. But I did go red first round. It was a buyback round, and I was trying to see where I could hit the tree or couldn't hit the tree. I tried something. I was 0-1 red. Said, "Oh, that ain't going to work." Put it back. And didn't work for me, but I trucked through there. I don't know if you guys want me to go through every one of these, but for the second round, I was lucky. I had to race Logan. Logan is a great racer, a hell of a mechanic, actually, and he's knowledgeable and got so much common sense on everything that it's amazing. He's a customer of mine, so he makes my job easier. If he gets something that he has to understand how to make it work, he always gets it. But he treated the shit out of me. He was 0-15, I was 58. But his bike, for some reason, when he went to pump the throttle, it just shut off. Like it just died. I went dead 1, and he went 4 above his dial in. We had like almost identical mile per hour, like the rabbit's foot. That rabbit's foot that I was telling you about, it was there. We roll up for round 3, and I had to race Khalil Johnson. I was ready. 004, he was terrible. And I was a 10th off the dial off the gas. Round 4, man, I had to race Rico. And I remember this one. Rico's, we done our burnouts. We pulled up and they stopped us for something. Checking the track or something. And I learned my lesson prior to this year at Virginia to not sit still. When the track staff shuts you off on a street bike, if you just sit there, when you do get fired back up to roll forward, if you don't do another burnout, your front and rear tire will pull up rubber off the track because it is stuck to it. And then you have to drive through that peeled up rubber, therefore leads to a spin. So I sit there and rock my bike back and forth the whole time, not letting it stick, just keeping it moving. Yep. I was 001. Rico's bike blew the tire off. He was 027. And it was going to be a good race either way, but the rabbit's foot took over. Round 5, I had to race the squirrel. I'm trying to remember. I don't think he treated me. I was 05. He was 03. I dialed a 70, went a 71. He dialed a 82, went 87.
I think he gave it back on you or something.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but he'll probably message me and tell me what happened. He probably remembers. I don't remember. It was a close race, but I don't know why he was so far off his dial in, not unless he missed it or maybe he sprayed and thought we were breaking out. I'm not real sure. Squirrel made some bad calls this weekend in the ET stuff. He had a rough weekend that weekend. Round 6, it was the rematch of the big men, me and Big Stan again. I did not have a shitty lot. I was 01. He was 055. I went a 73 off of 69. He went a 44 off of 43. He just give me some room there. He run his dial in that time. Kind of role reversed a little bit. And down to the semis. I want to point something out too. During this race, there was a few times that the tree malfunctioned and they kept throwing people back in. Like the round that I had a 001, I was number one qualifier and they put us on ladder. I should have had lane choice the rest of the race, but it got redone 3 times. But we got down to round 7 and there was 4 of us, which was a pretty tough crowd, man. I had to race Shane Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
The ET gangster, Jeffrey Santine, had to race Montreal Johnson. They actually had a really good race. Montreal went 39, Jeff went 32. Montreal broke out 2 thou, and Jeff broke out 200s. Actually a really good race. Jeff probably took 01 and some change, which is not a bad day. That's what you do. I had to race Shane. Shane went 009 red. I was 48. That cool air showed something. I dialed a 68, went a 63. In the final, Montreal was 064. I was 018. I dialed a 64, went a 68. And he dialed at 93 and went a 94. So Saturday was good to me. I finished the Gamblers race, and then won the bracket bash as well. That was 2. Now here's the problem with this for me. So you come to a race and you want to do good in points if you're competitive, right? So I was sitting there thinking Sunday morning, like, how do I expect to do good anymore? Like, I done won 2 races. Like, I always want to win everything I race, right? But you're like, am I going to get lucky enough to do good again? Like, just go rounds in general? Like, I didn't know if my luck of the Irish run out or whatever,
right.
You know?
Yeah, no, we've talked about this before. Like, you and I don't know about on air, but.
Yeah. I mean, like, you just ride the wave and continue on trying to do the best you can do. What should we go off next? Top sportsman, or do you want to talk a little?
I mean, I can. I'll put it like this: Gamblers race. Yeah, Corey Stubner was 9 total on me. 008 dead. Hold on, 001. It don't matter. He was 9 total. It don't fucking matter. He was 9 total. I just got my ass kicked. It is what it is. I was like, you know what? I mean, what are you going to do? The guy's 9 total. I think he was like 008 dead 1. So anyways, that was my Friday. Saturday, I made, I would say, one of the worst racing decisions I've made in a long time.
For you, because you take pride in your finish line racing. Yeah. This is also why Darnell come out so early.
Yeah. So, and that's another reason why I usually do good on Friday and Saturday, is because I know if I lose early, then like all hell's going to break loose for everybody. So it's like more motivation to do well. Anyways, man, I was so far ahead and I treed my opponent by a lot. I was holding a few numbers, by the way, so that made it even worse. I was just so far ahead. I mean, I just literally lost track of where I was on the track. And then to be, quite transparent, I tried to get cute with it, as I would say. And, I just started rolling out way too early, and I'll be lo and behold if I didn't freaking give it back by 0-2. I didn't even give it back close, like 0-2. So it was, in my mind, a terrible loss, one that, like, I literally can't think of any time in recent years, and I'm saying years, like I would have to go back like multiple years to think of a what I would call a foo bar like that for myself. So, yeah, I had to take a little time for myself. I ran out to the gas station, got a bunch of generator gas.
Got me some gas. I didn't even need it.
Got Dustin some gas. I had to, have my own thoughts and be away from people so I didn't lose my shit, because at the end of the day, this is a hobby and we're having fun with it. But then I started buying alcohol I didn't even need because I already had some. Went back to track. Broke into Spencer's trailer. He had a gallon of Buffalo Trace bourbon. I just started pouring that straight into my cup on ice croutons. So yeah, I just had some ice croutons and some straight bourbon for basically, well, until Darnell came out, and then who the hell knows what I was drinking. Probably rum at some point. I started the weekend with 3 bottles of rum and only brought back half a bottle. So yeah, we'll put it like that. I got rip roaring wild. Darnell came out early. Um,
He's a good
I want to talk
pusher,
about
though.
this grudge race. So
Oh,
Ricky was
yeah.
coming through. He was eating it up. He was loving it. He was coming by multiple times throughout the day. Like, well, it even started on Friday. Well, I mean, as soon as we got there, I mean, we were going back and forth. We were having fun with it. We really were. We were having a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
fun.
yeah. Good,
Ricky was
neutral, like,
filming.
competitive fun. Yeah.
Like I do remember this before Darnell completely took the reins. Like I was feeling it already, and I seen Ricky come by and was like filming into Spencer's trailer, and like I don't even think Spencer was there. So I immediately started talking shit. I was like, "What up, Ricky?" I was like, "Let's throw some more on it." He's like, "How much you got?" Of course, I was drunk, or Darnell was drunk. So like I don't even know why, but I started ripping out Amex cards, and he was like, "I'll have to charge you a processing fee," and I was like, "Let's do it." So I was having fun. Yeah. So lo and behold, Saturday evening, we were finishing the Real Street final from VMP Bike Bash. Ricky Gadsden, the OG, and our boy, the Amish Outlaw, Spencer Claycomb. We had seen for the last day, these guys were struggling, right? Weather was complete 180 from anything this year. It was super cool. You know, it was a tuning game. These guys were both trying to find out, how much power they could apply. And that's really what Real Street is, anyways. Okay. So like if you're not familiar with Real Street, um, it's basically a fine line and balance between any power adder bike has a true hand clutch. So they're like trying to manipulate a clutch. Trust me, y'all, they have more power than they can apply to the track. So it's like this fine dance with clutch, they're riding the heck out of these bikes. And it's just it's a lot, man. It's hard. So they were trying to figure out their tune ups. I mean, we had seen some okay passes from both of them, nothing spectacular. It's not like one of them went out testing and started ripping off, 750s in a row. So we went up there. We'd already decided Real Street is 2,000 to win, 500 runner up. They're running for all of that. Winner take all, 2,500. And then on top of that, we had another 2,500 that we put together. So it was winner take all, 5,000. And then on top of that, we had more side bets coming in. So when it was all said and done, Darnell got some side bets up there. I had 700 in on it. And we was riding with our boy.
I had 350 in it.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. So we rolled and gambled with our boy, and I'd do it again. I would have did it 5 minutes
Actually,
later.
kind of back to when I was telling you and Spencer about me. I'm still kicking myself in the butt over the bracket finals. Spencer's like, "Well, at least you didn't lose to Ricky." I'm like, "Well, we kind of did."
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Thanks, Spencer. We did. So now y'all know.
Yeah.
Man, it was like for the hype that we had, and like we had to get on Jason's butt a little bit. We're like, Jason, man, we teed this up. You could have went with this. You should have ran with it a little bit more. So we had to give Jason a little shit on it. But we had some good hype built up. There's lots of people talking about it. And on paper and watching it, it was a hell of a race. I mean, they left. They looked good. 330. Spencer started wheeling it. We're like, oh snap, oh what's gonna happen? He sets it back down because like I know we were at the starting line. And it looks like, I mean, to us, it looked like he was out on him. So we're like getting excited. We're getting excited. And even Darnell knew. So Spencer, if y'all are familiar with Spencer, whether he's on his Real Street bike or a grudge bike, especially grudge bike, he lights the candles. Okay. There's going to be a flame out that pipe. That's just Spencer. He's got it. That's how much he's spraying. That's his tune. He's got it figured out. There's going to be a flame when he's on a pass. So the candle was lit when he set it down past the 8th mile. Like the candle was it. And we're like, we got this. We got this. Well, when Darnell seen a second candle light out the left side of his bike, I said, oh shit. He hit another kit. Spencer decided to grab the 4th kit at about 1,100 feet, and he grenaded it. So the scoreboard lit up. Spencer went a 779 and Ricky went a 776, and RG got the win light. So congrats to Ricky. It was a big win for them. A lot of hype behind it. I mean, look, hindsight's 2020. We think Spencer had it had he not hit the extra kit. And the mile per hour kind of tells it too. I think Ricky went like 190, 776, and Spencer went like 172 at 770.
Yeah, she shut off down there. She was done.
But that's racing, and
And
that's
then
why
the
that's
poor
one of the
fella had to
toughest
fix his
classes.
motor for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, so then we had to fix that. I will say though that the money I lost, I feel like Darnell got the last laugh because word on the street is that Darnell and the Amish Outlaw took a little golf cart ride down to Ricky's motorhome about 2 a.m. and
Yeah, woke him up.
we had to wake old RG up from his beauty sleep.
Yeah, Papa was
he's
sleeping.
getting old. Papa was sleeping. We had to wake him up to pay the bet. Even Ricky was all confused.
You should have been on the door and been like, Adrian!
I did
Rocky
feel a little
Balboa.
bad. His daughter opened the camper door and she's like, "What?" We're like, "Get that old man up. We got to pay him." So he came out all sleepy in his pajamas, and yeah, we had a fun laugh. So shout out to RG. RG had a weekend. I'm just gonna go straight in that. Man was on a mission. He beat Spencer. He ran the tables, y'all. He won that race. He won the Sunday finale race and wrapped up the championship all in one. And Real Street was another one that was tight. Like they were battling out every round. Ricky ended up beating previous champion Mark Hilton, 496 to 452 total. And Dave Stewart was in third with 410, and our boy Spencer ended up in fourth with 409. So, it was anybody's race heading into that last one. So that was that. Yeah, that was my Saturday. Like 2 rounds of getting my ass kicked, and then getting Darnell got to be in y'all's winner circle photos that I don't remember. Got to wear the Jeff Santine ET Gangster special winner circle photo shirt.
I call that the Fuel Tech shirt.
Check it out. Yeah, Dustin calls it the Fuel Tech shirt. There are some photos that are not. It's not seen in, but if you go to Dustin's page, you can see it.
Hey, Holly shared them. They don't give a shit.
Did they really?
Swear to
anyways,
God.
It's a shirt with a bunch of dicks on it, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, bright colors.
52 dicks. Of them, actually, for what Jeff said.
and I seen this the weekend before, so shout out to my boys, to our boys, the ET Gangster, Jeff Santine and Bill Maturo. They went down to a car race the weekend before I was supposed to be at. I actually told them to go, and then I didn't make it. Anyways, man, Jeff won the foot brake class against cars. And that's tough. Dustin will tell you how hard that is.
Yep.
So I was cheering them on all weekend, trying to text them and be supportive because I felt bad that I wasn't there. I was supposed to be there. Anyways.
We were watching live. I was putting videos on Facebook.
Yeah, we were pumped. Look, we support our fellow bike racers for sure.
Absolutely.
And then I seen this video the next day of like Bill wearing this shirt, and I was like, man, that's an ugly ass shirt. And just like to me, I wasn't paying attention. It was just bright, all these bright colors on it. And I stopped and I looked, and I was like, it looks like a bunch of dicks. There's a bunch of dicks on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
accurate.
Darnell got to don that because he didn't care at that point in time at whatever 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, because not only did Dustin win the Gamblers in Bracket Bash on Saturday, and after that, that painful loss in the Real Street, our boy Amish Outlaw, he redeemed himself, came through with a Monster Bulls win, big old win against Jazzy J on Dope Stick. So we were in that winner circle too. We had a good Saturday.
Yeah,
good Saturday for sure. Which brings us into Championship Sunday, I think.
Does
lots of championships, like we said. I think Ronnie, when they finished up the 460 VMP race, I think Ronnie actually sealed it up there. So
he did.
Sunday, 460 was the only class that was decided.
Speaking of this, I want to say that Fabian had to leave early, and I sure did miss him. Because he does keep up with this stuff and he knows the scenarios. That might make some people nervous, but I love that shit. Like, I love the fact that he'll announce, hey, if they win this round, they're going to get it. I'm like, oh, I thrive off that. Like, give me that.
Yeah, and that's not a knock on the existing announcer. He just
no. That guy just wasn't doing it right. It wasn't in his criteria of work that day. He was just announcing when Fabian had to leave because, Fabian had a prior arrangements to do the next day, and he couldn't stay up late with us. But I did miss him for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we're into Sunday. We told y'all one of my goals was win a championship coming in Sunday. I was in contention too. could have,
Number 4 qualifier, 765 at 181 mile an hour.
Yep. Didn't do anything crazy, just qualified. My bike was running great, y'all. I mean, like literally phenomenal. Felt really confident, comfortable.
It's better than mine by a lot.
Yeah, it was money. First round, top sportsman, had to race Robin. Me and Robin and Dustin were tied in points. We had 151 points apiece. The cool thing is we all three had the tiebreaker. Okay, so we had all three won a race, so we had an extra point. So like in my mind, I knew it. Like I felt like we were in a really good position, all three of us, because like we were kind of fighting from behind. Gary was leading with 170.
If you catch someone, you're going to beat them by a point, basically.
Right. Yeah. So Gary Klontz was leading with 170. Bill Maturo and the Squirrel had 160 each, and then it was us three at 151. And if my memory serves right, I think it was Boo Brown and Dave Cornell at 150. Yeah. And then I think even Mark Schwam was at 130. There was a couple other people at 130. So, yeah, me and Robin somehow. So let me take a step back. Me and Robin were racing going into third round to top sportsman at VMP when it got called.
Yeah. So it's like you started where you finished.
Well, yeah, but going back to what we said at the beginning, like had we got that round in, one of us would have been another round farther.
Exactly. We wouldn't have been tied.
Y'all. Like it's important. So in a way, like I was glad about that because like Dustin says, like we're finishing it again. So I knew I had to be on my game. I knew I had the bike to do it. And Sunday morning, I left. I felt good. Went down through there. I'm carrying a lot of mile per hour on Robin. Did my best to judge the stripe. Thought I got there. Ended up being y'all thought Dustin got behind by 006 at division finals. I got behind by 001. Ended up being 001 behind. Ended up breaking out by 15 thou. Robin broke out by 12 thou. So I lost that race by 3 thou. I think I was 34 on the tree and she was 32. She had me 2 thou there. I mean, look, we were at the top end, I was hugging her and just congratulating her. We were kind of talking out how we thought the race went and we got the ticket. I want
to stop you. So you qualify with a 765 and your bike goes to 764.
Yeah.
I'm envious as fuck of that. Like,
I had a hot rod, man.
What I'm getting at is, I qualify with a 790 and my bike goes to 97 first round. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, like that's why I felt so good, and we'll get to that in a minute, of course. But when we got the tickets, me and Robin, I said that was a hell of a race, girlfriend. I said, you go on and do it to him. So I at that point, I done lost a champion, or I couldn't win a championship. I was gone in that one. So my focus was Pro ET. Now this goes back to me and Dustin. We always, or this year in particular, we talk damn near everything.
This year and last year we done this a bunch. Yeah,
but last year we started and like it's really I don't know.
It's helpful to talk to your friend, and if their friend's knowledgeable about what you're doing, it's really helpful to like spitball stuff.
So we talked and this was before first. So I lost first round of top sportsman, and then you fall into Pro ET whenever you lose top sportsman. But this was before first round of Pro ET.
Yeah.
So at that point I had to decide whether I was going to ride my my blower bike or my slower ET bike. And the blower bike was just running so good. I told Dustin, we talked about it. I said, I'm going to run with that. It gives everybody
brand new tire on it
first. It had a brand new tire, and it's just printing tickets. And I said, everybody's gonna have the opportunity to leave first and go red, so let's do it. So long story short, I think I might even lost first round of Pro ET. Yeah, I did. And then I bought back, won that. Then I think I won second round. And it's really, I'm not going to, there's no two bits about it. It's third round. It was a sour ending to the weekend because I just blew the tire off. I mean, my bike was 60 and 120, basically every pass, printing tickets, maybe 121. Which, is that the quickest? No, but when you're going up for Pro ET, and this is not a knock. This is on me. This is on the racer. I'm taking full responsibility. But, at that point, to be honest, all the pros had finished. So there wasn't going to be a whole lot of, track prep after that. And that's why I'm saying I'm taking responsibility. I just didn't have my bike set up, and I just spun the tire. I blew the tire.
Well, I will say that the track wasn't as good this race as it has been in the past. And I don't know if it was the weather or something, but I'm not knocking XDA. I'm just saying, like, I've been at Maryland that I can't personally push my damn bike in the beans, and in the later rounds for me, there was a 5 foot wide groove, and I was staging out to the far outside like Rodney Williford, wherever Spencer put me,
And I
because
think,
it wasn't good.
Dustin, talking about that, and we have talked about this a little bit. I think really probably what it comes down to is the glue nowadays. I know the glue has changed since COVID, so it's just, it is what it is. Hindsight's 2020, as they say. Did I wish I was on my slower bike? Well, yeah, third round when I blew the tire off, sure did, but it is what it is. So yeah, I was not able to secure any championship. And then I just went into pit bitch mode and started helping Dustin again. Loading my stuff up, I think. So
you and Spencer saved my ass, really.
But yeah, so that was my weekend. Not the weekend I wanted, but look, I had a good year. I won some races. Won a couple.
Won some money too.
Won some money. So, I can't hang my head low. And I learned a lot of lessons. I had a lot of fun. So, enough of me. Let's talk. Where are we going now? Let's talk about. I don't even know where should we go. Hold on. Let me see here. I'm pulling this up. Let's see. We are going to go to. Hold on. Wait for it. It might come. It might not. Yeah, like we said, Ronnie Procopio, he had it wrapped up, the championship. Ronnie won, I think, does this sound right? Was it his fourth 460 championship?
Yeah, I think so.
That's just that 460 is tough, y'all. I got my feet wet in it this year. This is no joke. And to win, it was either his third or fourth. We think it was fourth, right? I think it was fourth.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. Commanding, Ronnie had 543 points. Second place, Troy Hosman had 338. So Ronnie was he was in control of that class. Shout out to Ronnie. 560, man. You had some bike issues.
Well, I mean, I got off Old Faithful and on two-tone. Yeah. I didn't really have. I had a good hot rod. It was 560 on motor. But it was there.
Break up. I thought.
That's when I lost in 560. I lost to O2 sensor. Now, saying that, I had the shit treat out of me. I think I was 60 and Dwayne was 01. Yep. The bike left and it was breaking up. And I actually grabbed nitrous and it just didn't feel right. I just let off of it. And he went on to win.
Yeah, so there you go. Dwayne
took the points lead then. I think he got a bye the next round, which took the points lead, and then he went on to win the race and the championship.
Like we said, going into the last race of a 5-race series, and then for the fourth race to be cut a little short, like every round mattered.
Yeah, because I was in and everybody else was out at that race.
Yeah, I mean, literally, aside from 460, anybody could have won any.
Now, saying that,
class.
I am thoroughly proud of Dwayne. Dwayne is a diehard Hard Times Parts and Service customer. If I couldn't have it, passing the crown on to him is awesome because he deserves it. He's worked his tail off. He spent a lot of money on all his bikes. Let me say this real quick. I had guided Wayne through refreshing his motor after hurting it in Virginia. Yeah. His first pass on this motor was Friday.
Yeah, and Doug rebuilt it.
Yeah, and he redone the motor, put it back, like it was supposed to be. The bike was running better than ever, quiet, racing. And he wins. And I have personally done that. I've refixed motors that I've damaged and go to a race and win. And it always works out that way because good karma, good vibes. You put the work in, the blood, sweat, and tears, and then you get paid back in the gratification of winning, and plus, let alone his bike's good.
I got a little part in that championship. That just reminded me at the last race at VMP because Dwayne hurt his bike.
He rode your bike
560. Now he lost first round because he went like 00 red, but that was that was 20 points that went a long way. So
hey man, that's how we roll. Like we will help you. I don't care if I got to race you the next round and you need something I got. Let's get it. You know what I mean? That's just how we are.
Said, don't be like rolling up asking to borrow a bike or some shit. Like we gotta be we gotta be in the fam.
Yeah, you gotta be homies, like real homies. Not just a homie that eats you food and then bets against you.
Oh Lord, I'm not doing that. 560, yeah. Oh man. 560. Shout out to one of our school students, Mr. Nick Noble, who finished a very respectable 4th place after missing a race. He missed one of the races because he injured himself.
I'm going to get on to some more school student stuff here in a little bit when I carry on Top Sportsman Pro ET.
100%. So shout out to Nick, and then our little homie Rico. Man, when I hear Rico, and I don't know if I told you this, and I don't even think I told Boo, but and now it's going to be on the airwaves. Like Sunday, when I was hearing Rico and them talk about Fabian talking about Rico's in the 560 hunt for the championship, it just registered wasn't he just running around the racetrack?
Yeah, I know. You still think it was a little kid, now he looks like a linebacker.
No shit. Aside from the fact, that he's a linebacker and huge, but it just it blows my mind. I don't know if Rico gets enough credit. He is a damn good racer. He's only going to get better, and he is tough, man. He doesn't lead if his green.
He's a tree getter, boy.
Green light turns on, y'all. He is probably freaking good. So many 00 lights, even the reds. But shout out to homie Rico. Definitely want to give him a shout out. All right, we covered 460, 560. What is next? What do I jump to?
I can go over Top Sportsman on my end.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to go ahead and wrap up Top Sportsman. We
finish it up.
Real Street too. Yeah.
Typical Dustin two-tone, not knowing what to dial first round deal. Luckily, I got a red light, 28 on the tree, went a 97 off a 93. I always have a hard time of deciding what that thing's going to run when the weather changes. I didn't have Ben guiding me, I guess. But Ben got a taste of how angry that bike is to dial. It's terrible, but I guess it just I'm afraid to make it better because then I'll never trust it. I'll never know what it's going to do. But round one, I had a red light. And I go up for 560 on the same bike, killed a O2 sensor. Ben, Spencer, and Jimmy Miller helped me thrash and swap a O2 real quick. Of course, I had to go up for round 2 in Top Sportsman, race Robin, who I lose to 8 out of 10 times.
You get your ass kicked by Robin, legit. If y'all, hey, XDA,
I red light to Robin XDA, all the time.
Tent Man and XGA, Extreme Gambling Association. That's a good bet to bet on Robin against Dustin.
Yeah,
I'm saying the odds are
for sure.
Favor.
I was sitting on my bike. I'd put a dial in on it where I thought it was going to run because, of course, it got hotter out. And all I could think about was, man, if this thing breaks up spraying, I am shutting it off. I'm not blowing this bike up. I need it next weekend for the bracket finals. That's the biggest thing on my mind. I was dead late. But I will say this, me and Jimmy were sitting there, and we were just talking. And I was like, man, maybe she'll red light. And sure enough, she lit it 4 red. And I stuck an 803 on the bike because it got hotter, and it went a 2 at the 7. So I dialed it right. It's clean, smooth pass. Get back, pull the data. Air fuel's perfect. Everything's back to normal. The O2 sensor from 2018 said, I'm done with you. Bailed out. Can't be mad at it. I already bought a new one, $300-something, so I got another spare. Round 3 was a big round. I had to race Boo, my teammate. It was a championship round. If I won, I took the points lead. If Boo won, he had to go one more round to take the points lead. Everybody else was out that was chasing points. So it was a big round. I was 31 on the tree. Boo was 37, and Boo's bike spun and didn't shift. I was way off the gas. Got to 99, went 830 something, 834, and go up for the semis. And I had to race Tom Galligan. And I think Tom is so cool because he's an older gentleman. His wife pulls him up on a little scooter. And it's just cool to see an old couple out there still getting it done and going rounds. And he was in the semis. But I had a lot of breaks, man. He was terribly red. I was 0-1-2. I dialed a 97, went a 94. The final I was excited about. RJ Bake, if you know him, come back from running just pro street to running some top sportsman pro ET stuff. Years ago, I raced RJ and I had grabbed one of my bad bottles with a bad valve and my bike slowed down 3/10, and he still makes fun of me saying that my excuse was I had a bad bottle valve, but I did. And I was ready for the race. I mean, I was 24, he was 87. I dialed a 94, went an 8 flat off the gas. Took the win to fall over to Pro ET. What you go to Pro ET in round 6, right? I think that's how it works.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I guess we'll go over that real quick. I still had a fire under me. I guess there was still some more rabbit's foot left somewhere.
Beforehand, Dale Hamilton was leading the Pro ET points. I was second, I believe, 30 points behind, and I think Boo was behind me 40, and you were maybe 40 or 50 points behind too. But I just knew the top 3. Dale actually lost second round. A Pro ET.
He actually would have won that round if his bike didn't expire.
His bike blew up. That was unfortunate for sure, but he was the pair behind me actually. So I won second round. Dale got to end. And I was like, "Did you win?"
At this moment,
he's like, "Nah, man," and my bike blew up too. And I was like, "Shit!" I was like, "Man, I hate to hear that." And he's like, "Well, it is what it is. We'll see." And Dale, Dale's a great guy, man. He's an OG. He's an NHRA world champ. You want to talk about? He did it bottom bulbing, right? I'm almost positive he did.
Yeah,
like OG. Like y'all forget how badass Dale is. So don't forget. But Dale, he's like, "Man, good luck. Go get it." Like that's a competitor. Like he didn't mix no words. Like he wished me good luck. He said, go get it. It is what it is. Then I go up, next round I blow the tire off. But so at that point, go carry on. But
at this moment, we thought we were tied.
But 2 rounds before, like it was like I feel like you and I simultaneous, the light bulb went off. Like we were looking at each other. I was like, man, I think you could like win Pro ET. And then we sat there and tried to do some rough math, and like we knew you were going to be close.
Yeah, at this moment, we were tied and I didn't know it. I was just racing. Now, this is where I was telling you I wanted to talk about another University of Win person, member, because I go into round 6, fall over to Pro ET. There's 8 of us, and I had to race Derek Burkhead Jr. I knew that he was, in the school. I knew that he knew stuff that he needed to know. The only thing I can tell you that hurt me was, like I told you earlier, the groove was 5 foot wide, and Spencer found the sticky spot to the right away from the tree, and it hurt my light a little. I was 37. He was 013. He dialed a 931, went a 32 with a 5. So he was 28 total. I dialed a 94 and went dead 1. I was ineligible. My light was worse than his package. I knew I wasn't going to get there. I rolled out of it, and basically was hoping he would break out, and he didn't. I was dead 1, so if I'd stayed in, I'd have broke out, so it didn't matter. That was the end of my weekend. Couldn't be mad. I just won 3 races, finished up winning 3 races, I guess you could say. I still wasn't sure about the points. Me and Ben had talked about it on the way home a little, and we thought that we were tied, and we read over the tiebreaker, and we thought I won. And to come to find out that Tuesday, that was accurate. I had locked it up, and I got 2, which I don't know how that'll work. I might have to sweet talk Jason, let me use the money toward another entry or something, because I can't. Pro ET and Top Sportsman's the same entry fee, unless he changes something or whatever. We'll see. But let's carry on. I want to finish Pro ET. Another student in round 6 was, or not a student, a member, whatever you want to call it, was our friend Chris Sikowski. Chris had been doing really good this race. We had fixed some chassis issues, me and him, prior at another race, and his bike was actually working good. He went on to go to the semis as well. Unfortunately, him and Derek both lost, but they could have met in the finals, which would have been epic. Derek, we talked about Nick Christmas earlier. And
I want to go ahead, but I want to say something about the semis. But
okay,
I was in the stands watching it.
Yeah. Derek Burkhead Jr. had to race Nick Christmas, who we talked about earlier. Derek was 57 on the tree. Nick was 073. Double breakout deal. Derek broke out more than Nick did. That was that run. And do you want to cover the other one? Is that what you want to talk about?
Well, no, I was just gonna say, I was just gonna go over it both. So like nothing against the other two, but like Derek had a slight advantage on the tree and just happened to break out, and same deal. Chris had a little bit more advantage on the tree and just ended up giving it back and getting behind. But that leads us to the final. So shout out to Chris and Derek. Like I was super excited. I know
the other person in the final, guys. That's what Ben's getting ready to touch on. The other person in the final who done some most gangster shit that I've ever seen done at one of the toughest series to bottom ball brace, period.
But let me tell you all this. I rolled up. I remember this. I rolled up with Dustin at 8. Yeah, I think it was at 8.
Yeah.
8 bikes. And I seen this fucking stock wheelbase ZX14R stock pipes.
Yeah.
And I said, that must be in the wrong lane. And then I looked up and there was Ronnie Reese at the head of lanes. I said, holy shit, that is not in the wrong lane. And I know that's what Ronnie is riding.
And this ain't the first time Ronnie's done this shit.
No, but like literally, if it wasn't Ronnie up there, I wouldn't have known who it was. And like Ronnie Reese, bro, we already knew this, but like if anybody didn't, this is
so much respect. Yeah.
Like, mad respect. Like stock wheelbase, stock pipe.
And wait till you hear this final lap he made. Like he damn near won the damn shit. Like it's amazing what he's doing. Like I couldn't do it. Like it would take me years to ride that thing to get good enough to win.
Like we're talking pro ET. This isn't even street ET.
No, I told him when I went up for pictures and stuff, like I have so much respect for what he done, and he's done it more than once is what's crazy. To take a stock bike that's lowered, I mean stock pipe, it's just lowered, and to stick it in the finals of Pro ET, I'm talking, winning 7 rounds and going to round 8 is unbelievable, just over the final. So he had to race Nick Christmas, who we talked about earlier. And Nick was 40 on the tree. Nick dialed a 905 and went a 906 with the 4. Ronnie was 005 red, dialed a 963 and went a 64. Like if he was green on the other side of that lap, he probably would have won that race. Just saying. Just because they run exactly off their dial. No, let's see. Yeah, exactly off the dial the same amount. So if he was 20 on the tree green, it would have been 200's advantage to him down track. So that's the most gangster shit. Like, I mean, I couldn't do it. Like people can say what they want. I mean, Ronnie's been riding that type of bike for years, and he's an expert at it. Ronnie, he would probably be in super stock if he wasn't so big. He's tall and just a big guy, because he's a gangster. Like it's unbelievable how much he's done this. Like for years, I've seen Ronnie on a stock wheelbase something going rounds, and
just when he chooses to as well. Yeah. Like it's not like Ronnie comes and races every single.
No, it's XDA. Just like it's almost like he does it when it's nice weather. Yeah, like when it's nice weather out, he'll race. And
it gets better. It gets better. Did you look at his lights? I'm going to run through his lights real quick. This is
go
Ronnie.
over them. Because
like he had a couple, he needed like the one round hit like wheelied and whatever he needed. I think it's probably red. First round, Ronnie Reese, 058, 965 on a 963. Okay. Stock wheelbase, hand clutch, foot shift.
He just now went over the first round. That's better than my bike is. Yeah. Consistency.
That's not easy. Second round. All right. Ronnie Reese. Perfect on the tree. 965 with a 0 on a 963. He's 20 total, y'all. 20 total.
That's unbelievable, man.
That's second round. Third round? You ready for a third round? Are you ready?
He was just trip zip, so I can't imagine it being any better.
Ronnie didn't want to push it too much. He let up. He was 24. He was 024, had some room, went 970 on a 963. Fourth round, Ronnie Reese. Ronnie Reese said, I ain't taking shit from nobody. Ronnie Reese, 005 on the tree.
Wow.
67 on a 63, probably out of the gas. Round 5, This he had a bye that round. He's 055 dead one 63 with a one. Ronnie ain't changed his dial in all.
His bike's better than my shit, bro. No like shit. That's unbelievable. Like, and he's legit. A hand clutch stock bike, like stock everything.
You're not looking at the results, are you?
I am now.
Round 6. Do you see it? Another 005. Now this is when he needed a little luck because he wheelied. I remember this. He wheelied.
Yeah, I seen it
or something, and luckily his opponent went red. So hey, we say it all the time. You gotta
have a lucky round.
But man, he's perfect in 2 005s out. So he's 10 total of 3 of his 6 rounds so far.
He's better than I was.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
7th round, like he's back to average. Okay, he's 6th on the tree and goes dead one though. He goes dead.
Yeah.
One. That's the second time he's basically run like dead on.
And in the final, he just seen it and was
5 red.
Yeah, I mean
literally. This man, like, I'm my mind's still blown. Like,
controlling a clutch, stock wheelbase, big guy, nasty. Like that is, if anything, that's the most gangster shit ever. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you can give but respect.
That is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. And this is not to take. So, like, I think was this the first or second time? Not like we're not discrediting Nick Christmas. He did a phenomenal job. Nick Christmas won.
For sure.
He was good. He was 40. He was one above. Like, he didn't lay down a bad lap, but like. To put it in perspective, like we just had to shout out Ronnie because that was some gangster.
I mean, it's just the most gangster thing ever. Like you can't not give that man some love. Like that is just awesome.
Yeah, like that consistency is unbelievable. That was Pro ET. We talked about so the championship. So Dustin ended up winning the tiebreaker against Dale Hamilton. They both had 301. Dustin ends up with 301.1. Dale's second 301. Mr. Boo Brown, that's your ass. He's 3rd in points at 290. I fall back to 4th at 281. Then we got Robin at 5th. So yeah, it was a
tell them what place I ended up getting in 560. And I told y'all this before the last podcast. I like being 1st or
3rd. Dustin
that's right.
3rd.
Then do it for Dale.
Yep. Was it 3 in the heart, 3 in the sky?
That's right. Praise hell, raise Dale.
All right, so we get through that. Let's go through some other classes and championships. So we talked about that. Let's go, like we said, all these classes, man. They were just such tight racing from in and out. Go over to Street ET points. You had Kip Green. Okay, he won the Street ET championships. Congrats to Kip. 251 points. LeRae Proctor 2nd, 250. Kip beat him by a point.
Wow.
3rd place. Ryan Gresham, if I said that, sorry if I said it wrong. 240.
That's right.
4th place, Russell Dennison Jr., 230. And in case y'all didn't know that, like little RJ, he's got some bracket racing heart. You know,
that's where he come from.
A long time. Yeah, I was gonna say that's where he came from. Y'all probably think he's a grudge racer. He still bracket races. He finished 4th in Street T points. So
he's a racer.
Is that Preacher Man? Derek Barber, is that what they call him?
Yep.
Yeah, we got 5th, 221.1. And then Mark Blake, man. So Mark, let's talk about Mark Blake. Finished 6th in Street T points, 221. But let me get this right. He won the Street T race, right?
Yes, sir.
So there is a cut, like aside from Dustin, who I obviously had a close-up view on, right, all weekend. There was somebody else that I kept seeing every time. It was Mark Blake. This man was on fire. He won Street ET, actually against little RJ in the finals. Ended up pushing him all the way, but I just said 6th in points. But man, super stock. Dude, Mark Blake won the final super stock race of the year. He won the first one. He bookended this, okay? Come from behind is what it's looking like. Yeah, come from behind, super stock championship win. He won super stock on the strength of his final victory, 465 points. Beat out the big man, our buddy Mike Davis, who finished 2nd, 434. Hell of a year for Mike. And then Tim Cottrell got 3rd with 411. And then the OG Curtis McDougal, 390. And then Patrick Cooper rounded out on a Gen 3 Busa, 358. Man, super stock. That in Real Street, those are some rider classes.
Yeah, for sure. Super stock's probably one of the most, like, you got to be a rider class and you got to be petite.
Yeah. But I mean, like Mark Blake was just on fire. You know, he won
He's
2
a
races
great
on
racer,
Sunday.
man.
So
And he's
like,
smart. So racing super
yeah,
stock and street ET with hand clutch stuff is a good way to stay sharp.
yep.
You know what I mean?
Um, yeah. So then let's see. I just happened to pull up Pro Extreme. Looks like Chris Cutzinger. He wrapped up the Pro Extreme Championship over John Collins and Dale Leaks, and then Tommy Saxon. Pro Street. So, like I was saying, you know, it's kind of just everybody assumes Rodney, but this is closer than I even realized. So Rodney did win his umpteenth championship. I literally have no clue. He might be in double digits at this point in Pro Street Championships. But Rodney, congratulations to the Williford Racing Team. Won 502 points. But get this, Mr. Mark Rendeluc.
That's right.
Pole vaulted himself. I mean, like, this is rookie season for Mark. Went all the way to second, past his teammate Jason Dunnigan, finished 474 points. So he only finished, let me do some rough math, 28 points behind Rodney in his first
3 rounds.
And he won the last race.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, it is. Wow. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts that brand new rider, first year out. And I mean, he's consistently went rounds, you know, at Maryland's first race, 85 points, which is his first race ever. 64 in BMP, the first race at BMP, 108 at the Middle Maryland, which 108 should be like a runner up, right?
Yeah,
and then 88 at VMP, the last race, and then 129 for the win this race.
Yeah, so basically it looks like he went to the semifinals, lost second round, I think, then runnered up, semifinals win. I mean, like, that's crazy.
It's an outstanding season. Shout out to Team DME.
Yeah. So that's definitely noteworthy. Congrats to all the Pro Street racers that locked in their World Cup on virtue of their
top 10. Yeah.
I mean,
actually, it's pretty cool. All the DME riders made it to the World Cup. Jason German, Mark, and Jason Dunnigan.
Yeah, so that's a big deal for Pro Street because top 10 points get to go to the World Cup car race. That's just cool. I know they all look forward to. That's a big deal for them as well. So
yeah, man. If you look at the points, like the top 10, there's some big names below the 10.
Oh, I mean, just look
Greg
at Ricky
Wallace.
Wood.
Yeah, Ricky Wood.
11th.
Gage missed some races, so it kind of an exception, but
yeah,
like there's some big names.
Streaker. I mean, Uncle Jimmy. He got a bike
fast.
So, man, so an exciting year for Pro Street. You know, Rodney wasn't unbeatable. We'll put it like that.
Yeah,
he was not unbeatable. Let's see. What do we have left on the cards?
All of them.
Let's I'm not gonna go through everything exactly, but we don't want to leave out our grudge guys, so I want to champions.
Let them have a little bit of time here. They take a lot at the track.
Oh, fair enough though. Fair enough.
I ain't wrong.
Champion. No, you're not. Boosted Bulls champion was Malcolm Phillips. Nitrous Bulls champion was Desmond Spalding, Mr. Kill Bill. Then Monster Bulls champion was Ken Alston. And then, repeat, Kill Bill, he got DMV Bulls as well.
Wow.
Last but not least, our little buddy, Poppy. Poppy won all Motor Bulls. Pretty commanding, I think, if I recall.
Dominated.
Yeah, dominated. Man, I'll tell you what, it was a fun XDA season and year. They added another race, so there's 6 this year. So I don't think you'll see as tight of points races, but you never know. I'm telling y'all though, like a race matters a lot, and that rain shortened one, it matters, y'all. But hey, it was fun. It made an exciting last XDA event of the year.
It did. I mean, we can't control the weather, right? I mean, we can always over the winter when around November, like after, end of November, December, Jason will ask us for some input. You can always email him and be like, hey, we want to finish what we start. There's always options. He'll do what he can to make it as good as he can. But, man, he's got a big program, a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to put 2 races in one weekend. We can barely get one done. So, it's just
100%.
You can only do what you can. We can't control the weather. And, unfortunately, that one was a little bit weather and a little bit of malfunctions of bikes and stuff. So
Yep, for sure. Coming up, looking at my little master spreadsheet, it looks like PMRA races next weekend. Mid America Dragway. Actually, sorry, I skipped it. Look at me, and I'm not sure if this is right. It looks like Kings of Grudge is this coming weekend. Extreme Raceway Park. I think that's somewhere in Texas.
yeah, Spencer said that he'd like to go there, but somebody's got a wedding he's got to go to.
Man, he ain't driving to Texas.
He did last year.
Weekend. Somebody's getting married on Saturday. If we can make it to Saturday, that would be me.
Yeah.
And so the following weekend, PMRA Man Cup is at St. Louis. Then you go to the last weekend, basically kind of the Halloween weekend-ish. You got AMRA. I'm showing AMRA and HDRA. I guess it's like a big Harley collaboration at Rockingham. And then I know where you'll be now, because we won't be in Vegas. You'll be at the SDBA season finale at Brainerd Motorsports Park.
I got one last hurrah. I got to get my bikes out tomorrow or maybe tonight. And I got to fix some stuff and get some stuff right. I do want to say, if there's any gangster listeners that wants to do some no prep racing this weekend at Knoxville Dragway here local, is having JJ Arm Drop for motorcycles, I have a spot. I want a gangster to have my spot. I will pay your entry. It's already took care of. You can have it, but you got to be a gangster. So if you think you're fast, you can run on no prep, let me know.
Hit your boy up. Hit Mr. 42X up.
That's right.
Man, I feel like, well, we had to get back in the rhythm of this, so we'll find our mojo. If it was a lot of talking and rambling, I mean, I don't know. We feel like y'all are probably listening like this kind of in-depth analysis, but if not, you know what? It is what it is. We'll have an interview for y'all coming up soon.
Yeah.
We got to do a giveaway because we missed it. So Dustin will verify. I'm doing the wheel of names. They're going to win. I'm going to click it. What are they going to win, Dustin? Let's see. How about a
wasn't racing? It? Yeah, that's what we said, I think.
And we still have the frame short neck service by Mr. Kevin Manchester at Manchester Mines. That's another big giveaway. We will give that away probably here in the next couple of weeks. We'll do it soon.
Yep. Here we go. Oh, Lord.
$50 to, it's so close to our buddy. It's not going to make it.
Oh, maybe another one.
Nope,
maybe another one. Oh, nope.
How do you say that?
David Koeman?
Yeah, David Koeman. Congratulations. You won $50 to Schnitz Racing. Wes Brown, man. You and Boo Brown, y'all was real close. Wes,
is that Jimmy Miller?
You were like I don't even know what you would say that, like a 1/64th of an
inch. My God, it's like almost touching the line. Wes.
Like it is touching, Wes.
And is Jeffrey Miller Jimmy Miller, or is that what?
I don't know. I don't even think the squirrel subscribes to this.
Unbelievable.
I know, right?
We should. Hey, don't. Next time we talk about you, don't vent. You're not a subbing. You're not quantity fiving. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're not allowed, squirrel.
You don't get an opinion.
But man, we got some. We right around where this wheel stopped. We got Mr. Brett Ware. We got Wes Brown. Boo Brown.
Couple codes. We don't know who they are.
Yeah. So, anyways, wait. Why did that? Who did it?
It's because you clicked OK.
Okay, it took the name out. That's why.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Name? All right, we got this. Let me put it in my trusty spreadsheet. Let's see here. Go ahead. Little shout out though to Brett Ware.
Oh man, so let me tell you something about my homie. Brett does some of the most gangster shit. So unfortunately, his bike kind of stumbled. It hit the ride height sensor in a qualifying run for Pro Street. And then when it set the front end down, it let it loose, and it basically done a backflip. I was worried about Brett. I went on, asked for prayers instantly, didn't mention names because I didn't know if his girlfriend was with him or whatever. And Brett was fine. He got up, walked away, come by looking for parts. So we got him some handlebars. Spencer loaned him his tank shell and his tail section. And Brett does the most gangster shit. Brett goes up. I'm going to pull the results back up because he does the most gangster shit that I've ever seen. He goes up for first round and guys, if you just now backflipped a motorcycle, you're going to have like some things in your mind. Like you just backflipped your bike and you've worked on it all night to fix it. And then you go back up here and you got to straddle this thing and you got to hold it wide open and toss a lever first round the next day. And Brett goes out there and he does just that. He goes on the 2-step, tosses the lever, and it wasn't even the fact that he had any fear in him, because he didn't have any fear in him at all. Where's the results? Did I go on the wrong race?
No, I got them pulled up.
Let's see. Oh, right there they are.
Yeah.
He was 080 on the tree on a pro street. Like, you guys aren't 080 in pro street's pretty good lot. Like, he had no fear. He threw the damn lever. He must haul his nuts free on the wheelbarrow. And he went a 670 at 217 after backflipping his motorcycle.
Wasn't it his personal best too? I thought
5 thou away, I think, from his personal best.
Okay,
like, damn near made. First of all, who even thinks about a tune-up that you can put in the bike? Like, after that, like, let alone the thought that in the back of your head you just now somersaulted it the day before, and he just sent it and made one of the best laps that he's ever made. I mean, he lost, but dude, like, that is the coolest shit ever. Like, and he's a great friend of mine. Like, I talk to Brett often, and I couldn't have been more happy to hear when they announced that pass of how good that gave him he needed that. You know what I mean? After working your butt off and crashing your bike and fixing it and then going up there and sending it, that's so good for your mind and just mental health. It was good for him. And to go up there and send it and have, 5 thou off your PB, and I would save that tune up and never let it go, because that was the miracle tune. It got it done. And shout out to him. That was outstanding. That's one of the coolest things over the weekend, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty epic. We already talked about how badass Ronnie Reese is. I mean, like, it was a really cool finals.
If you guys ain't noticed, I personally have had a really busy past 2 weeks, and I actually took a nap when I got home yesterday, and I don't do that, but I did.
Yeah. I think that's it. We all have over 2 hours to listen to us chibber jabber and talk racing and talk about passes and blah blah blah. We will probably be back next week. Yeah, but we might do a live next week, or maybe get an interview going out.
Damn, you're gonna be a married man next time you get on here.
I know. That's so.
The fuck.
I might be on the run or something by then.
You know what I watched last night on TV?
What's that?
Runaway Bride.
I thought you were gonna say Wedding Crashers.
No. That's not me. That's Darnell. He's gonna crash his own wedding.
Yeah, that's for sure. Shout out to the sponsors: Worldwide Bearings, MPS Racing, Penske Racing Shocks, MTC Engineering, Platinum General Services, Schnitz Racing, Manchester Mines, Montgomery Motorsports, Hard Times Parts and Service, Knight Marketing Group, Energy Coil, University of Wind, BMF Motorsports. Real quick, so just so y'all know, the school, all the lessons have audio recording, so if you don't want to read it, you can listen to it. Excuse me. The wintertime's a good time to learn. Y'all got
it's time to do your homework.
Sign up and get to winning more rounds. Montgomery Motorsports just dropped the ZX10 low pro tank for you Kawasaki fans. Schnitz Racing has Wasner blocks in stock. Showing Dustin those this past weekend.
Yep.
Let's see. We got to hang out with Dustin. Shout out to Dustin at Penske. Man,
we got to spend a lot of time with Dustin at Maryland.
Like,
we did.
Literally, I had so much fun. That was one of the highlights, is hanging out with you, Dustin. So shout out, bro. Can't wait.
For sure. Yeah.
And then what do you got? I know you probably got some stuff on the shelf.
Today, I mean, I got some BMF seat pans, which is kind of
a double whammy right there.
Yeah, double whammy. I also got some Busa OEM clutches come in. We're still waiting on more Track Kings to come in. I got some mallet magnets come in that I ordered. I have plenty of hoodies, I think, still. I might have sold out of some of the smaller sizes, T-shirts. Just holler at you, boy. I got you.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you're supporting the sponsors that I mean, pretty much all these sponsors, not only do they support our podcast, some of them are specific to us. We got some new ones on here, but a lot of these people support the sport. So make sure you're shopping with everybody. Shout out to y'all, the loyal listeners. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Quantity 5, subscribe.
Yeah, Quantity 5, subscribe. I'm losing my voice. I'm gonna go get ready for a wedding, y'all.
I'm tired, boss. I think I'll go to bed.
All right, y'all.
I gotta take my beta blocker. Hey, real quick.
We're on the 2-step. Revlin.
I want to say that everybody knows I'm on beta blockers. Gotta take it. I take it 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
I did. My heart rate was Saturday. I was like, nope, I ain't taking it because I knew what it would do to me, and I held off until after the race was over to take mine. That was funny.
Did I say? Hold on, I got to look back at that real quick too because I think
I was texting you about it because my heart rate was up. I could feel it.
Dustin, I'm even telling him hey, make sure you're just snacking. On
I was
not even eating, just snacking. Hold on, I'm trying to find that.
I would keep going to the camper and grabbing a piece of fruit, drinking more water, and I drunk some of them damn body armors.
At 7:30, you said, "I'm ready, boss." I told Tamara I wasn't taking beta blocker until I was done because it's going to calm me down and then fuck me up.
Yeah.
And I said, I agree with that too. F that shit. Let's go to Vegas.
That's what I said. And I should have just took the damn thing.
Here we are. We was in it, y'all.
That was the old famous, did you die? I didn't die.
Nope, exactly. But did you die?
So I told her, she's like, what happens? I said, I'll live my whole life without it. I can make it 3 or 4 extra hours. It'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. Hope y'all enjoyed this.
We appreciate y'all.
We'll talk to y'all later. See you.
Peace.